Perfect. All right. Okay, everybody, we're getting ready to start the meeting here. Thank you all for being here tonight. Welcome to the Dania Beach City Commission regular meeting, Tuesday, August 27th, 2024, just after 7 p.m. Clerk, could I please have a roll call?
Mayor Ryan?
Here.
Vice Mayor Llewellyn?
Here.
Commissioner Davis?
Here.
Commissioner James?
Here.
Commissioner Salvino?
Here.
City Attorney Bootsas?
Here.
City Manager Garcia?
Here.
Mayor Yalaquam.
Thank you, Laura. Let's all take a moment, please, for a moment of silence. Thank you. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, we're going to get into our presentations and special event approvals. Item 3.1 is a request for a proclamation for Hunger Action Month for September 2024. This is sponsored by Commissioner James. Do I have approval? All in favor say aye. Aye. All right. Moving right along, we're going to item 3.2. This is a retroactive approval of the proclamation for St. Ruth Missionary Baptist Church 116th anniversary, which was August 18th, 2024. This was sponsored by Vice Mayor Llewellyn. Do I have approval? All in favor say aye. Aye. Okay, perfect. Now we're going to go to item 3.3. We have a bunch of people here with blue shirts on. So this is for the Lions Club Community Partnership, and this is sponsored by Commissioner Davis.
Thank you, Mayor, and thank you to all the mighty, mighty Lions who have come out this evening to be with us. Many of you know the Lions serve on so many levels at so many events, and I had the pleasure of having a meeting with Vicki and the very new president. Congratulations, Marie Angelica, for this upcoming year. And so we got to having a wonderful conversation about how we can partner more. If you don't know, I think they might be the fastest backpackers in all of the country. They do so many wonderful things. 500 backpacks. You guys just really serve our community so well. We're so proud. And so at this time, we're going to invite the new president, Marie Angelica, to do a presentation to talk about how the Lions Club wants to be more involved in the city of Dania Beach with the community partnership. Come on, give her a hand.
Is the presentation going to be seen broad? How are you guys going to see it?
It should be ready.
I don't know what that is.
Let me turn that off.
Okay.
It's that mic, Frank. I mean, Ralph. It's the main one on the podium.
Do I not put my phone near it?
You see, if I activate it, that's what
going to work on top of everything else.
Test 1, 2. Mic. Let's try it.
Yep.
Okay.
Test.
Okay. Thank you, commissioners and vice mayor and city attorney and city mayor and city clerk for having us here. We are very happy to, well, I have a question. Is the presentation going to be seen up there or? Fantastic. This is not normal. Okay. So we are the city, we're the Dania Beach Lions, and we're very excited to partner with the city. We've done a lot of projects in the past. So this is a quick rundown and our goals, and we're aligning them with the city of Dania Beach. Coolest thing about us is that we actually were chartered in 1947, and that's actually why we partnered with the city. Oh, this is getting a little weird. Lions. We serve, and what does that mean? We are about inclusivity, transparency, relative to gender, religion, ethnicity, political or national. That's the we in the we serve. And the serve part is we are very much part of the community. And one of the things that we want to do is partner better with the city of Dania Beach to elevate the eyes on the Lions. Why? Because one of our goals is to be able to grow our community as Lions. We want to get more members, and one way to do that is to be able to be showcased better with your social media. This would be a great way for us to partner in kind of like any of the events that we are there. We're able to then have that aspect of a resource and bring more attention also to the services we provide to the city of Dania Beach. One of the things that we've done in the past is that we've done the Dania Beach Parks and Recreations after school program. One of our members is part of the Dania Beach Historical Society. She's the president. Hollywood Lions Club is another one of our great partners. Neighbors for Neighbors, exceptional theater company, Joe DiMaggio Children's Hospital, their food pantry, and then of course the childhood cancer awareness. Those are just some of the examples. So our members are also the reasons why we desire to have that community connection. One of the things that we do is that we have a lot of leaders that are part of our committee that are also board members in other organizations. So we're very much attached to communities. So this is our way of bringing extra resources and community ties. So we've got the Kiwanis Club, again, Historical Society, Lighthouse, Students, Exceptional Theater Company, just to name a few. One of the cool things is that our club is enriched with fellow organizations, but we want to be able to tie better and provide kind of cross-pollination with other organizations that are part of the city of Dania Beach. But if we can have access to the social media platform, which, believe it or not, that would bring extra eyes, better and more resources for attracting more volunteers, therefore stronger ties to the community. One of the exciting things we want to plan for the city of Dania Beach for 2025 is a scavenger hunt rally. Why is this important? We're wanting to use this as a fundraising tool for ourselves and a couple of other nonprofits that are part of the community. This will foster that community tie with the private sector and the nonprofit world, which I think is needed a lot right now. And again, having that spotlight to kind of give us resources like the social media, whether it's your Instagram or the website, it'll help us ramp up the excitement, get more businesses involved, and also get us there we can fundraise for the other, community partners that we're going to be doing this with. So the mission of the Road Rally Scavenger Hunt is to fundraise and to bring awareness to our community. We're going to handpick companies, businesses, restaurants, and highlight them during our scavenger hunt. Commissioner Davis actually participated on our last one that was a couple of years ago. She's the one in the pink with the pink hat. So we found her picture. Shocking, right? So it was a great partnership. It was one of those great things that we got to know, little pockets of the city of Dania Beach that maybe none of us had been to or we want to revisit again. So this is an exciting way for us to tie the community, tie the private sector, reach out to the Dania Chamber, and therefore foster that community involvement. One of our biggest fundraising things and one of our biggest impacts have been through Share the Vision. We actually sponsor people to go to the Dania Eye Center and they get their eyes checked. We believe as Lions that it is a great way to give resources because the gift of sight is so important. And so one of the things that we've done is at all costs, we sponsor them. And Joanne Brave, she's back there. Will you raise your hand? She's the one that handles this for us. So she's always on the phone with me. But we're kicking off, we've done this to our community, but we've decided to do something even grander, and it's a pilot program that we're doing. But what I want to do is bring out our next person that's going to be spearheading this vision we have, pun intended. Greg?
Thank you. Good evening, Mayor and city officials, and thank you for your time for me to speak on this new vision initiative. My name is Greg Davenport. My wife, Andrea, and I joined the Dania Beach Lions Club in 2022. We were looking for a way to serve our community, and show our children exactly what community service looks like. It's been 2 years now that we've been members, and I urge anyone looking for a local organization to serve to come and check us out. A few months ago, when our then president, Vicki Payne, announced she was looking for someone to spearhead our new vision initiative, my ears immediately perked up. I struggle with poor vision and got my first pair of glasses when I was in 4th grade and still wear contact lenses. In 2005, I tried to enlist in the United States Coast Guard and was turned away due to my poor vision. Luckily, I did receive a waiver, and I just entered into my 19th year of service. Thank you. Those are a few reasons why I jumped at the opportunity to lead our new vision initiative. Since then, we applied for a community impact grant through the Lions Club International. We did receive those funds, and we've started, and we have purchased our Spot Vision Screener, handheld, easy to use. Our goal is to screen students in the surrounding elementary schools, starting with Collins Elementary. We've already started our dialogue with Principal McKeenan. The Spot Vision Screener is easy to use. You just have the individual stand still just a few feet away, and the equipment will give you the prescription and screen you for 6 major vision issues: farsightedness, nearsightedness, blurred vision, unequal refractive power, eye alignment, measurement, and unequal pupil size. So this little piece of equipment will give you all of that very quickly. For any students that require to see a doctor, as we just discussed, they can go to Dania Eye Center. They will receive a free comprehensive eye exam, vision exam, and receive prescription glasses for free, covered by our fundraising efforts. We ask that you promote and support our new vision initiative any way you can. Thank you.
So in conclusion, for us, it's where there's a need, there's a lion. And we've been greatly tied to the city of Dania Beach for so long. We've been a part of it, we want to grow with it, and we want to bring resources and partner better with it. But one of the things that we're going to need is volunteers. So by highlighting the Lions through social media, through your platforms, we're able to then attract younger Lions that will be able to carry the torch and continue our legacy. And I'd like to also thank our past presidents. Will you please stand up? Mr. Joe Payne. So this legacy of leadership has always been around, and we'd like to continue it easily into 2025 and beyond. So thank you for your time. We appreciate your support, and we'll be part of the community as always.
Well, thank you very much, Lions. I really appreciate that presentation. Never above, never below, always with. All right. So as a proud Lion myself, family membership, we definitely want to work to hold on. We definitely want to work to grow the club, and you definitely have the city support. And I appreciate your guys' initiative of helping the youth around the city, and starting with Collins Elementary, right? All right. All right. Thank you very much. Can you guys come up for a picture? Stand in the front, and we'll be back here. right, Lions, thanks for showing up to the meeting, and thanks for showing up for our community. We definitely appreciate it. Okay, up next, item 3.4 is Dania After Dark Series Special Event Application. This is from Parks and Rec. Commissioner James,
I'd like to make a motion to approve it.
motion to approve.
Second.
Second, all in favor say aye.
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 Thank you.
All right, Dania After Dark passes. All right, up next is the Technology Achievement Award. This is awarded to the City of Dania Beach Information Technology Department by the Florida Local Government Information Systems Association, the IT department. Okay. Come on, Daryl. Oh, that's why you dressed up so nice today, huh? All right.
Hello? I dress like this all the time. No. 1 second. So we, at the local, I'm sorry. Hi, this is, in case you don't know, hi, Mayor, Commissioners, the rest of the city staff, everybody. At the Flagista Conference, it's a conference for the local government IT departments for the, in the state of Florida. We were awarded we were awarded the innovative use of technology and service of the Agency for Internal Operations. This was based upon our See Something, Say Something app that we have created in conjunction with some of the other departments, particularly our Public Services Department. Basically, it encourages employees to report things that are wrong with throughout the city in an easy way, and kind of, I would say, it gamifies it, but it gives them like an incentive to do so. So because of that, we were awarded this award.
All right, IT department, thank you so much for what you guys do. They're always working in here. I want you guys to know. I'll come in here on like, a random Wednesday at 11 in the morning, and they're back here just making sure everything's working. So we appreciate you, and
All right.
congratulations on the award.
All right, thank you.
Let's take a picture. Come on up. We'll be behind you. Come on.
Get the award.
And then after the rest, just change it to 5.
Wait, so the also
It is in federal funds.
All right.
Please.
Thank you, Monica, Ralph, Daryl. Okay.
anything else?
Other than U.S. mail in a mailbox.
All right, now we're. This works? Okay. Okay, now we're going to move on to item 4, proclamations. And this is item 4.1, Hunger Action Month, September 2024. And this is sponsored by Commissioner Tamara James.
Thank you, Mayor. Is Allison here? I don't see her. Oh, over there, okay. Hi. So Allison requested this proclamation, and Allison is with Feeding South Florida, and so I am proud to present it on behalf of the mayor. Proclamation reads, whereas since 1981, Feeding South Florida has worked to end hunger in the city of Dania Beach by providing our community in need with immediate access to nutritious foods. And whereas hunger does not discriminate, it knows no race, no religion, or age. In South Florida, approximately 1 million individuals face hunger. Food should not be an impossible choice for the community of Dania Beach. And whereas Feeding South Florida leads hunger and poverty advocacy efforts in our community while transforming lives through innovative programs and education that provides economic growth and overall well-being. And whereas the city of Dania Beach is therefore committed to supporting Feeding South Florida so that together we can achieve a hunger-free South Florida. Now, therefore, on behalf of the City Commission of Dania Beach, our mayor of the city of Dania Beach, Florida, does hereby proclaim September 2024 as Hunger Action Month in the city of Dania Beach, and we encourage our residents to join us in supporting Feeding South Florida during this month of action. Thank you. Would you like to come up and say a few words?
Thank you, Commissioner, for leading the proclamation. Feeding South Florida provides food assistance and other critical resources to individuals and families facing hunger. We provide that immediate food assistance, but also our programs and resources are designed to help people live better lives. So we meet the immediate need, but also provide case management to find out, other gaps for families, and also workforce development training, warehouse training, and culinary training, so that individuals and families who are interested in getting gainful, different employment can do that as well. We appreciate the Mayor, Commissioner Tamara, and the City of Dania Beach for supporting this proclamation and Feeding South Florida, and thank you so much.
Thank you. You guys want to go take a photo?
Sure. Okay, now we get into the highlights of our meeting, and we'll start with our administrative reports. And City Manager Anna Garcia, please.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, Vice Mayor, Commissioners, City team, the residents that are here with us, the residents that are watching at home. It's been a great summer and a very, very busy summer. Got to start off by giving kudos to our public safety team. Candido and I have been working very closely with our chief, our lieutenant. There are a lot of things that are seen and discussed, and a lot of things that are not discussed and unseen. And not just working with this agency, but multiple law enforcement agencies, because as we know, the number one priority of this city commission and this administration is public safety. And the chief in his report will allude to some of these things that we're working on. I also want to invite the Lions, and we'll communicate to them, to set up a tent at our 120th anniversary event that will take place November 16th. All the opportunities are there and available for all the city organizations to participate and be able to get the word out in regards to what they do, and this will show how we can better partner with these great organizations. I'm very pleased to be representing not just the city and the county, but the state of Florida at the International City Managers Association next month in Pittsburgh. I have been chosen, along with a fellow manager from upstate, Northeast Coast, and Arizona, to work on the recruitment of public employees. And I'm very pleased to be able to take our chief HR director with us, because we want to make sure that we cast a very, very wide net as we continue to recruit the very, very best employees for the city. As you have done the past 2 years, and we're very grateful for that, you guys have allowed us to begin the advertisement and the recruitment for the positions that we're going to have in our budget. This allows us to take a head start on Miami-Dade and Palm Beach County, as well as other Broward cities. So today we come to you on behalf of all our department directors and our deputy managers to get your approval to begin to advertise those positions that we discussed with you on the one-on-ones, so we can get a head start on all the rest of the counties and cities that we're competing with. Thank you. I appreciate that support. This summer edition of our award-winning newsletter is out. The residents are extremely excited about it, and we've discussed this at the core meeting and many of the conversations that we've had. Kudos, because as you know, we received an award for the Pioneer. So grateful to Nanette and Suzette, who are taking the lead role. And now they will be going to Texas because we are now a finalist for the 3CM Savvy Award. This is a national recognition, and it makes us very excited and proud to be nominated and it's a tremendous honor for our city. So again, kudos to the great marketing and communications team for all they do. More awards and recognition keep coming our way as the Dania Beach team that works on the Dania After Dark, our Parks and Recreation Department, did a fantastic job. Excuse me while I put on my glasses. Extremely significant work, and it is reflected in exceptional planning, creativity, and community engagement. And we received first place for sponsorship and partnership. So I'd like to congratulate our Parks and Recreation Department on this fantastic award that really shows everything that we're doing to get the word out in regards to Dania After Dark. We also received 2 third-place awards for Best Photo Opportunity Area, as well as the Wine and Seafood Promotional Wine Glasses. Folks, in October is just around the corner, so check our website because the tickets are already available for our Oktoberfest. The 120th Dania Beach book is complete. Working very closely with Island Syndicate, our communications team, all our city departments, our mayor, our vice mayors, our commissioners. Thank you, Commissioner Davis, because you brought this forward to us. This was truly a labor of love, and it's going to be in publication, and it's in print as we speak right now. And it's truly remarkable because it depicts the great history of Broward's first city, where we're at today, where we've been, and looking forward to the great future that we know that we will have working together as a team. We have successfully completed 3 out of the 5 2024 core conversations, and we look forward to September 17th at Chester Bird Park and October the 15th at C.W. Thomas Park. This communication and engagement and really listening to our residents and really taking the time to have one-on-ones, meet with them in group sessions, but to be able to let them know of what we're doing and who all their department directors are, who their city leaders are, who their code officer is. It has been a really great opportunity for us to bring government closer to the people, and we're very happy about that. We are working on a really cool initiative, Candido and Cassie from Parks and Recreation with Three Sons Brewing. It's 2 different opportunities, but the one that we're bringing forward today, we have confirmed our date of September the 18th from 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. as together we will brew our 120th special edition beer that we will be featuring at Oktoberfest. So we're very excited about that partnership, and there's some more good news to come that our Deputy City Manager will be communicating to us within the next couple of weeks. We have set the date for the groundbreaking of the Southeast Drainage Project. This is the largest investment the city of Dania Beach has ever had. September 26th at 4:30 p.m. will be a historic day and time in our city. Kudos to Fernando, Dinzer, and our entire public services team involved in this endeavor, as well as Frank and our senior finance team. There has been an extreme amount of coordination and effort involved in making this happen, and we could not do it without the support of our mayor, our vice mayor, and our commissioners. We're working very closely with a bond agency because we have positioned ourselves in a great predicament to be able to seek loans at very low interest rates. And that could not happen without the remarkable work that we're doing in all the departments and the stability of the city. the stability of the city and the manager's office with the city manager, the deputy city managers, and all this department director. There's no other city in Broward County that has this ability that we have here, the knowledge and the expertise in all the departments. So I couldn't be more grateful to work with this amazing team of individuals. We are working full speed ahead, and it's very exciting. As you see, the historic Nyberg Swanson House is in full restoration mode. I know that this causes Fernando a lot of stress because this has been something that's been very, very dear to him. And as you know, we were ready to go, but when you're dealing with multiple agencies, we have to be patient. But the shovel is in the ground and it's coming along, and we really look forward to a great celebration and ribbon cutting in this calendar year before the end of this year. C.W. Thomas Park, what can I say? Another labor of love. Every day that we go by, there's more going on in that facility. A $23 million investment in our park system. The week of August the 12th, we marked a critical point as we poured the concrete and laid a very large portion of the building foundation. We are on track to date for a ribbon cutting celebration in December of 2025. And just today, we were pouring more concrete. So that is a really another labor of love. So many that we have going on citywide in our city, like never before in our history. The IT Parker Center, the transformation of this beautiful waterfront facility, we always had a vision for what it could be, and we were able to see beyond the conditions. We are investing close to $1 million, and it's going to be a premier rental party, celebratory place where people can go. Our residents can really celebrate special moments there. It's going to be truly remarkable, and we will be cutting the ribbon at the end of October. Maxine will get with you to provide you with some dates, and we really would love our community to be there because this is the place for weddings, baby showers, birthday parties. You guys are going to love it. It's a total transformation. We held the first team meeting with our mayor on August the 20th, as well as the entire State of the City Address Committee. We look forward to this October 17th. Our Chief of Staff, Maxine, is leading the way on this endeavor, and more details to come. But it's going to be a celebration of yesterday, today, but more than anything, the vision that we have collectively for the future of this great city. The bid design services for Olsen Park has closed. Again, great job to Sasha from our procurement department, our Parks and Recreation department, our deputy manager, Cassie, all those that are involved in this project. We will be bringing the project design company forward for commission approval next month. The PJ Milley Design Services will also come forward for commission approval next month in September. We're touching every area in our city, in parks, in storm drainage, quality of life, making sure that everything that we do it with extreme excellence, looking at the bottom line and ensuring that we stay on budget and on time delivering these projects for you. Our city designated team members are working on Chester Bird Park. We are currently securing design firms. The $400,000 is a mutual project that we are working on with funds from the state and from the city, and it's going to be another beautiful design and another amazing park facility. Our city clerk, Elora, and her team reached out to Broward County Department of Elections. Thank you, Commissioner Salvino, for this initiative, because we really realized that so many new residents are moving into our city, and we wanted to give them the opportunity of how they could register to vote. Thank you, Elora, and your team, because we really had a great turnout with Broward County elections here for many days. Our HR team, what can I say about this HR team? They are second to none. And everything that they do, not just for our residents, but the 150 plus retirees, it's truly exceptional. I just switched insurance because I was on my wife's insurance, and I went to the cardiologist and I said, I just want to make sure that you accept Unitas. and she told me, you are in a better insurance that you've ever been. And we couldn't do it without Linda and Ann, and the exceptional team that represents our HR department. So thank you so much for all you do. And thank you for all the benefits that we have, which are second to none, not just in Broward, but in the entire state of Florida. We have completed all our one-on-ones with the mayor, the vice mayor, and commissioners, and we really look forward to a tremendous budget season that commences on September the 12th when we have the first reading of the budget ordinances. Very, very proud that this commission has supported for the past 3 years a record amount of law enforcement, first responders, fire, 26 boots on the ground representing public services, representing our public servants that are our first responders in BSO Fire and Police. We're truly aligning our words with action. One more thing, we are very excited about the renovations that we are going to be making here at the Chambers. I had this conversation with Commissioner Davis last week because this is something that also came out of one of our core meetings. Many residents have discussed with us the opportunity of how do we expand our cultural footprint, whether it be with our kids, with our seniors, and there's going to be two different types of designs that our deputy city manager is going to be presenting, where we're actually going to be able to have multi-purpose space here, and we can expand the footprint to have an auditorium and have some performance space for our kids, for our seniors, but really thinking outside the box and really using multi-purpose spaces, not just in our parks and in our community rooms, but also here at City Hall using the chambers. Again, I thank you all. Last 2 months ago or a month and a half ago when you extended my contract, and I was really emotional that day because by the time that I stepped down, it'll be 50 consecutive years of working since I was 14. But I have to say, we would not be where we're at today without the great work of all our department directors, our deputy department directors, our managers, our supervisors, every single employee here. I couldn't be as responsive if it wasn't for Chris, my assistant, because within 24 hours, we respond to every email and every phone call. And what can I say? The best deputy city manager and co-pilot that any city could ever have. And I'm very proud because we're going on our 14th year together. And I'm not easy. I'm very, very demanding, and I have a very high bar. But you know what? Candido, every single department director, and every employee here of the city truly does a tremendous job. And it's our honor to serve you, and thank you so much for the time.
Thank you very much, Madam Manager. That's how you get it going after recess. All right. Commissioner James?
I didn't know if you could still see.
Yeah.
You back good? All right, great. I just wanted to ensure, I'm excited about the 120 celebration commemorative books that we are currently printing. I didn't hear back after we had mentioned the things that we had, our concerns that we had, or feedback that we had. I didn't know if those things were ever followed up on or completed.
Absolutely. From you, I remember it was the different athletes, the different people that represented our city. Everything that we were able to discuss with not just the NET, but Island Syndicate, because Island Syndicate has to make sure that everything that we put out there is backed up by facts and research. So everything that was submitted that we were able to back up, we were able to include it in the book.
Okay, thank you.
My pleasure. Thank you all.
Did we get a digital copy of that? Or how were we? I'm sorry. Thank you. I'm sorry about that. I just didn't know if we get a digital copy or a final review of what the finalized approval was for that.
Nanette, can you come up and give us an update regarding the book? I don't want to give you misinformation.
Good evening, everyone. Annette Rodriguez, Marketing Communications Director. The book, all your input, everything has been put in there. It is at the printer, so that we can have it here by the second week of October. We do have a mock-up of the second to last issue. I think the manager, or it's somewhere upstairs, an actual printed out book. So we do have a physical copy. I don't have the last digital copy, but there it is. So yeah, there's actually a couple more changes that were made after that one.
But basically, you're saying the editing is completed.
Yeah.
We're done.
It's at the printer.
Yeah, they're printing it now. Okay.
Yeah. It's a hard book cover. The only difference of that one, it's a 12 by 12, so it's like the actual size of what you're seeing there, it's probably just a little bit smaller because it's square, and then it has a hardcover, and then it has a paper, wraparound cover that also includes on it.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you again, Madam Manager. Great report. Now we're going to move on to our City Attorney, Eve Boutsis.
Good evening, everyone. It's always hard to follow the manager who's so eloquent. I'm going to keep it short because, unfortunately, the stuff I do is not always as entertaining as all of the achievements that our team has done.
It's good stuff. We can do it.
I wanted to give you an update on the large user wastewater agreement. We've come to a tolling agreement with the City of Hollywood, which will be on the agenda in Hollywood on September 18th. So once it's approved there, I will bring it back here for us to sign, and we will not have to deal with this for a while, which is great news. I also wanted to give you an update on what is known as Senate Bill 1365, which was codified as in Chapter 112 and in another chapter. It's relating to homelessness and camping on public property. As you know, I think I've mentioned this bill previously, and even before this bill was enacted, Vice Mayor had already made updates to our homelessness, our camping ordinance, I should say, to provide other protective measures relating to addressing the homelessness issue. And the county has been tasked with, by the state, to create an ordinance that would be applicable to the entire county, but a city could opt out if they have a separate provision. And what this ordinance basically says, effective October 1st, you cannot camp in public grounds. You can't be in doorways, you can't be in alleyways, you can't be in parks, and these people have to be removed from those locations. The second part of the ordinance, and just so you know, the county has asked for contributions from all the cities, and they wanted to see our ordinances, so I did share our ordinance, which is the most up-to-date ordinance in the county, with Broward County, and as they are working on drafts, I will advise you of those updates and what they're looking to do. But there's a second portion of the statute, which is effective on January 1st, and that is liability on cities. So if there is a homeless encampment or a situation that the city commission is put on notice of, and it's very specific language, it's not the administration, it's the city commission, and we don't take care of address that homeless situation within 5 days, that person who has made the complaint can go to court for an injunction and get his or her attorney's fees and costs and damages against the city. So it's onerous on cities. I will tell you that our chief has been great. He's been working with our new ordinance that is not, again, it was adopted before the state law, but we have had to remove certain people from our parks and from different locations that are homeless and refuse to move and refuse to go to a shelter. And I've actually gotten a call several calls from the prison system, from the head of the prison system, because they don't have enough beds. And so they want us to remove these people from the jail system and not pursue our charges. That being said, the county is looking at all different ways, and one of the issues is how are they going to house all the people that would be arrested, because that is one of the things that is required under the state law. And they're going to be coming up with different issues and different objectives, and as they bring those forward, I will advise you of same. They've talked about putting some sort of interlocal agreement with cost associated to help build facilities. So I'll let you know how that goes. The third item I have listed, I've resolved that, so I'm going to just go on to one add-on. I have been noticing that not everybody has properly adhered to our logo policy, your logo policy, related to the use of our logo. And so I have advised the entire city staff to make sure that, hey, we got to make sure we comply with that. Well, I found out along the way that Dania Point is having a 5K and they're using our logo without our authority, so I'm asking for that authority tonight. But technically, they never asked for the authority. So I'm just complying with our requirements that anybody who uses it has to get authorization.
Do I have consensus that Dania Point could use our logo for the 5K? Yes? Commissioner James, you want to say something, add to it?
Yes, can we add that it don't have to come back for the next year, in the next year, and so in
Perfect.
perpetuity for this event? I mean, I
Once
think.
they've used it, they can continue using it. Just they never actually asked for it.
Thank you. Go ahead. I mean, can you all hear me out there? I feel like I'm so.
When we enter into a formal partnership, to me, I thought that was automatically embedded, that you use the logo when you enter into a formal partnership with another entity. So if you're partnering with something, they're using our fire, they're using our police, we've planned this event with them, then that is a partnership. And if you're going to have a partnership, then you still need to, that usually is, part of the partnership.
Well, remember, there are lots of special events, and I think this is not truly a partnership. Instead, we're not a co-sponsor of it. We are providing services through our police department for their production. At least that's how it was explained to me by Cassie. So, and there are a lot of special events that go on, and so we want to make sure whoever has the special events, if they want to use our logo, they just get authorization.
Well, we actually planned this with them.
Okay. I'm just going by what they told me.
I just wanted clarification. Okay.
So we're paying for the detail for the 5K?
Cassie,
Yes?
on the 5K, who's paying for the security detail?
They pay for it? Okay. All right, just wanted to verify. Okay, thank you very much. We have a consensus for the approval of the logo.
Thank
anyway.
you so much, and that's my report.
Which logo is it? Is it?
The Dania Beach D.
Okay, just the D. Okay, cool. Just want to make sure. All right. Thank you, City Attorney Bootsis. Okay, now to our public, sorry, City Clerk. Sorry, Laura, I almost forgot.
I know, it's not
All right,
that.
City Clerk, we have reminders. Go ahead.
Just a reminder that your next meeting is on September 12th, which is a Thursday. It's been moved from the Tuesday to the Thursday. So it's CRA starting at 5:30 p.m., and then you have your first budget hearing and city commission meeting at 7 p.m.
Commissioner Salvino?
I thought we moved the CRA meetings to 6 o'clock.
It depends on the time, on how much time we have on the agenda.
The size of the agenda. If it's a smaller
short
agenda,
like it
it
was
gets pushed
today,
back.
just administrative
We haven't
report.
had one last more than 30 minutes.
And we actually have, but we go based off of how large the agenda is with the CRA.
Okay.
Okay, so do I have approval? Okay, we have approval. Thank you, Clerk. All right, up next is our public safety reports, and we'll start with our BSO Police Captain Jason Toralla. Oh, no. Yeah, your radio's bugging out. Let's see here.
Okay. Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Commissioners, City Manager, City Attorney. So we've been really busy over the last 6 weeks. So to start with, to piggyback off what the City Manager was stating, there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes that nobody sees until we execute our operation. So I would say probably 6 months ago, we actually had enough intel reference the Happy Family Food Market based on, this has been something we know has been an issue in our city, but just because we know there's a problem, to get inside someone's private business, it takes a investigation, and it takes a very, very, very unique investigation to get in there and to make their charges stick. that location itself is very difficult for us to get in. Luckily, about 4 or 5 months ago, we were able to introduce a undercover officer inside the Happy Family Market. And once inside, they were able to purchase narcotics multiple times over the past 4 to 5 months. They were able to purchase it from one gentleman, our prime suspect, who was acting as an agent of the store, going behind the store where the narcotics were being held, selling to customers as they came in. The worker at the store was allowing this to continue and allowing it to go on and was assisting. Through our investigative means, the owner of the property was also knowledgeable of this and was also responsible for allowing this activity to occur. After our last narcotics buy, I spoke to the city manager and the city attorney and our deputy city manager. We had a meeting about a month ago, and then another follow-up meeting working with the city. So once we did our search warrant today, that the city could also do their part, because we knew there was also numerous code violations, hazards inside the business that, again, we weren't able to get in before. So today we conducted our search warrant. It was very successful. And after the conclusion of our search warrant, we were able to charge our main target, who was there, with possession of oxycodone and selling oxycodone within 1,000 feet of a convenience store in church, as well as his violation of probation. We also charged the store employee, as well as the store owner, with keeping and maintaining a shop used for keeping and selling drugs. The city side is continuing their investigation. I won't speak on their behalf, but I know they went out and they have multiple code violations. Fire marshal was out there, the fire inspector was out there, and as well as we called the health inspector. So as far as their investigation goes on their side, I can't speak on that, but that is ongoing. I can't answer too much more because I will tell you that we are also working a second part of this that we were able to get some intelligence on that you'll see in the future on that. We're working another part of this too. So that's why we were out there today. You want it now or later? Yeah, yeah. We can talk when we're done. Okay. We also had another search warrant that we conducted a couple weeks ago over at 22 Southwest 6th Avenue. We also got intelligence that there was a house there selling narcotics. We were able to introduce another undercover deputy, and they bought narcotics out of the house multiple times. While we were working that target location, it just so happens the owner of the property emailed the city and called us that there was numerous squatters as well as on his property. So we were able to get Mr. Oren to sign the proper paperwork. We went through the court system, and we actually went over there with our entire day shift, Lieutenant Baldwin, Sergeant Yoder, myself, and Lieutenant Cooper, and we actually removed 10 apartments full of squatters. That's a lot for one apartment complex. 10 apartments were filled with squatters. We lawfully removed all those people. They were all trespassed from the property, and Mr. Oren boarded up his property. While searching the rooms, we found loaded firearms and magazines in a couple of the rooms. Those were all sent to the lab for DNA testing. 2 days after removing all the squatters, we went back, unbeknownst to the people that were still there, and we conducted our high-risk narcotics search warrant on the target that was our initial target. At the conclusion of our, narcotics search warrant, we were able to arrest that suspect for felony warrants for aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, armed false imprisonment, possession of bath salts. He was also additionally charged with possession of trafficking MDMA, delivery of MDMA over 10 grams, delivery of methamphetamine, and use of a two-way device to facilitate a felony, and he was on probation. So we successfully shut down that location too from being a drug hole in our city as well. We also had Operation Summer Splash going on this summer, so our entire countywide motor unit came into the city twice, and they were here on the 27th of June, and they were also here on July 5th. And the total numbers from the 2 days they were here, they wrote 58 speeding citations, 91 non-moving citations, 10 no proof of insurance citations. They gave out 55 education materials, and they also gave over 131 verbal warnings. So not everybody got a ticket. That was over 300 citations and warnings were issued over the 2-day span they were in our city. I also want to let everyone know that we've had our operation going on Dania Point, which obviously everyone in the commission knows was such a hot topic in our last commission meeting. I can tell you with the working with Kimco has been extremely easy. They are amazing. They are an amazing partner of us, and ever since myself and the city manager had a meeting with Kimco. They are 100% on board with securing that property with the amount of police that was necessary to control the issue we're having. Since Kimco increased the staffing of law enforcement, we've had not one issue over the last 7 weeks. I know the Vice Mayor, Commissioner Salvino, Commissioner James, I've gotten feedback that many of our residents that go there, our tenants, have reached out and saying how nice it is now, how appreciative they are, how safe they feel going there. And that's really what it was. We had to set the tone that the juvenile crime going on there wasn't going to be tolerated. And once we set that tone over the first few weeks, those juveniles were all trespassed, removed from the property. We had their parents come get them. And since then, we haven't had a single problem on the property. And we haven't had a single issue at all with violence in the last 7 weeks in Dania Point, which is amazing. And last but not least, what I wanted to do today is obviously we know school just started back up. And for the first time, I wanted this commission to actually get to see the face of our SROs, who are the deputies that protect our students. So I'm going to bring them down to introduce them to you. Come on down, guys. So these three deputies are fantastic deputies. They actually all worked for me when I was a lieutenant here, before I became the XO and then before I became the chief. So I single-handedly know all three of these deputies. They all have my approval to be in our schools. They are tasked with the most important job here. They protect our children. They do such an amazing job of building rapport with our children. They build a rapport with the staff, the principal, and they keep our children safe. And I can tell you they're the best trained deputies in the Broward Sheriff's Office. We all get amazing training, but their level of training is even surpasses what we get because of them at the school and what, God forbid, what they need to be able to do. And these deputies go there every day, taking on that challenge and understanding what it could mean. And I want just you put a face to them, let them introduce themselves to you.
I'm not as tall as him, so there you go. I'm Deputy Ruiz with the Broward Sheriff's Office, obviously, and I've been with BSO for 9 years. Well, this is my 9th year now, and I'm the SRO over at Olson Middle School. This is my 4th year there, and it's great. Like, I have a great communication with the students, the staff, the principal. Like, I have a great relationship with most parents, but you're gonna have those parents, but. But anyway, just wanted to introduce myself, all right, so everyone knows who I am, and feel free to come talk to me if you need to. I'm there. All right. Yeah.
I'm not as short as him.
You're not that short, so.
Yeah, I know. Good evening, I'm Deputy Jackson. I see some familiar faces. I'm at Dania Elementary. Been there for a while. I'm a veteran, still serving. We have open house tomorrow if you guys want to come out. I encourage you guys to come out, talk to the kids, read to the kids. I'm always trying to get faces out there, deputies, the captain. One thing I tell the parents is when your child comes to our school, we're in a relationship now. So your child is my child. I have 3 kids. I die for them. I die for your child. So.
Good evening, everybody. My name's Deputy Furman. I've been with the Broward Sheriff's Office in Dania Beach for the past 6 years. For the past 3 years, I've been fortunate enough to serve at Collins Elementary, which has just celebrated its 65th year. It's honestly been an honor working with the amazing staff and administration at that school. And I just want to take a moment to thank you for your support in continuing to support the education system in Dania Beach. Thank you.
Any questions? That's it for my report. That's all I got.
Commissioner Davis.
I just want to say to the SROs before you leave, I see you guys every day, well, not every day, but on the first day of school, and I've witnessed how you have grown your relationship not only with the administration and the teachers, but the relationships that you have with the kids. And that gives our kids such a positive relationship with law enforcement. It starts them on the right foot with it. You take them in and you really care about them. And I appreciate seeing that relationship grow over the years. So thank you for not just being SROs, but developing that relationship with our children. It really means a lot. Thank you so much.
Commissioner James.
And also, just to piggyback off of that, I won't repeat exactly that, but I just want to let you all know, Deputy Jackson really means what he says when he says you guys are in a relationship. He saved my child from getting jacked up one morning, dropping him off to the OC. He's like, Mom, I got him. Mom, I have him. And I was like, you better get him before I get him. But I really appreciate that. It's a wonderful way to start off your day knowing that your children are in great hands, people who are not just doing a job for a check, but really passionate about what they do and making sure that their emotions are in check, their attitudes are in check, and that they are a different, they hear another sounding voice of whom, a lot of these kids respect you all. So thank you so much for putting yourselves in harm's danger every day for our children to have a safe haven, which is called school. And then what to the other situation, to Happy Family, just for as a question, you said store owner. Do you mean property owner or the leasee?
The leasee, the one who actually owns the store. So he's the registered owner of the store. He's the one we took. I'll get the name for you, but he's the one we took in today.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. That was it.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, thank you, Captain, and thank you to our SROs, protecting our most valuable resource in Dania. Appreciate you guys. I know you'll be there bright and early, so you probably want to get home. Okay, up next is our BSO Fire Chief, Sergio Pellicer.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Commissioners, City Manager, City staff, and the great citizens of Dania Beach. On August 13th, our department successfully completed our ISO evaluation, so we anticipate receiving the results within the next 6 to 8 months. It is a process that they have to go through all the paperwork and all the records we gave them. Our Fire Station 1 will host a third annual September 11th commemoration. This event serves as a solemn tribute to honor the lives lost and the heroism displayed on that tragic day. 2 of the 3 investments that you made for our community and for our fire department are back in the form of refurbished rescue truck, the ambulance, and the fire ladder truck. We will be sure to have them on display after the September 11th program. Our fire crews were busy this summer, along with the SROs, which is perfect timing for tonight that they came up here and spoke, but along with our SROs, our battalion chief at Fire Station 17, and each of the crews is assigned to the different schools. They go out there and do what's called a FSSA safety check. We walk through the school and put eyes on everything and make sure both police and fire know what we're doing in case of an emergency. Our fire crews attended the sandbag distribution, and we did a lot of things for Lighthouse Community Church. We went out and helped them during the Helper Day, and our Fire Station 17 crew went out and did their annual fishing event. And that's all I have.
All right. Thank you, Chief. Anybody have anything for the Chief?
Any questions?
Okay. All right. Looking forward to the ceremony, Chief. Okay, now we're going to go right into our citizens' comments. I see 2 citizens' comments. We'll start with Eugenia Morales. Ms. Morales, please step up and state your name and address.
Hello, good evening, everybody. I'm here to discuss about the noise ordinance.
Please state your name and address, ma'am.
Okay, sorry. Eugenia Morales, 414 Southeast 5th Street, Dania Beach. Okay. I was looking at the ordinance, and the ordinance says that it can be heard 100 feet away from the source of unreasonable volume. I was looking at other cities, our neighbor cities, and they have decibels. I'm recommending to see if you guys can review that to measure the unreasonable, because we all know the unreasonable, it's different for everybody. And then with that, probably these many abusive calls to BSO can be minimized when we have these decibels. So I'm recommending that. Also, I was researching other city neighbors, and I saw that the fines were, the first one is at $250, then each one of them is going to be at $500 each one. Unfortunately, I'm a victim of abusive neighbor who call constantly to, you guys all know me, to BSO, and I think these can help to minimize this call to BSO that I know they will be so grateful, because they can use this time to really taking care of something that is very important, which it can be someone's life instead of be on a neighbor. Just because of noise complaint, and it's not because it's really loud, it's just because he just don't want people, not only me, because he don't complain only about me, he complain about other neighbors as well, and he's asking for his respect. However, he don't respect nobody. As you guys know, he has called me many bad words to me, and not only that, my neighbor here it's here to talk to about, he got his son and told him, your dad is a piss off. So to a 7-year-old guy, so he don't respect nobody. He include a kid talking these type of words. So I think these can help minimize these calls if you guys can review that, and because he just do abusively. Thank you for listening to me, and I appreciate all the work that you guys do every day for everybody.
Thank you, Mr. Morales. Appreciate you coming out here tonight. Okay, up next, we have Mr. Paul Anarati. Mr. Anarati, please state your name and address for the record.
My name's Paul Anarati, 403 Southeast 5th Street, Dania. I just want to talk about Ms. Morales. I think that noise ordinance leaves room for people to harass neighbors. Not having any type of clear definition of how much sound is coming from a neighbor allows people, like she was speaking, to just maliciously call. And then those calls lead into fines. It starts at $500, and then to where she's at now, $7,000 for, I've seen it. I'm her next door neighbor. I know what the gentleman is doing to her. And there has to be something with this ordinance that can be changed to stop this from happening. You're taking away BSO multiple units at a time for hours on end because of these talks. They could be doing something else in our city, but no, they're responding to a noise complaint 4, 5, 6, 7 times in a night. When does it lead to harassment? Something has to be done to change this noise ordinance, to have more definition, to stop these malicious calls. That's all I got on that. All right. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Anarati. For the record, Mr. Anarati, you're a firefighter, correct?
Yes, sir.
And paramedic?
Yes.
Okay. And how long you've lived in your residence?
I'm 13 years now.
13 years.
Same amount of time I've been firefighter paramedic.
Okay. And you've had these issues multiple times?
With this gentleman?
Yeah.
Yeah, Sean DeRosa has, multiple people on our block have had multiple altercations with this same gentleman. There's nothing that he's doing that's in a positive manner. I believe this gentleman wants the neighborhood to be a certain way for him. A single gentleman, no kids, nothing like that. And when people have kids, obviously you want to enjoy your kids, and I don't think he wants other people to have that enjoyment.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Anarati. Appreciate you coming out here. I'll touch on it just briefly. We did meet as a city extensively about this noise ordinance. We changed it. There was the discussion of decibels. But what I thought the issue is decibels, I'll speak on my behalf, is, say, I don't know decibels, say it's, 0.5 as a decibel, and then someone's just right there at 0.499, then it's an issue, because we have to see what the decibel will be. With all the work that we did and with, the leadership of our city attorney, we felt like this was the most viable solution, really, for what we were dealing with, with other neighbors. And the noise complaints overall throughout the city have reduced, correct? If I'm not mistaken.
This is the biggest issue.
Yeah.
This is the biggest issue that we're dealing with. But a greater concern is an individual talking a certain way to a child and harassing people. Because I've been by this home and we've seen the level of complaints, even at unreasonable times. So, and I know Eve worked day and night on this, but we will amend and continue to research and do whatever it takes to make sure that we do things right. But yes, we have a concern when BSO has to come off our streets doing the things that they have to do to go. Listen, I've received calls and videos as Candido, even on vacation, and we couldn't be more responsive. And we're not gonna stop researching. Eve,
I will do what the commission would like us to do. I know we're periodically going to be reviewing the noise ordinance, so we'll see part of the amendments were done at the direction of the city commission. From what I understand overall, the city has not had a huge noise problem. The decibel meter, I've done it in some cities. There are problems with it. There are challenges to it because you have to calibrate the meter. I think a commissioner wants to speak. So there are different problems with different technologies, but whatever you guys ultimately decide to do, I will work through and try and find you even better solutions.
Thank you, Eve. Commissioner James?
No, I was just agreeing. We've already had the decibel system here. We had it and it did not work. It was not the best choice for us. That's why we came to this conclusion of what we're doing now. We had that when the Tiki Bar was first introduced, and we had a lot of that noise coming from over here. So we've had that metric already in place, and I don't want to get in between neighbors and talk about who's saying what about anyone's child. I think that everyone could point fingers. I'm sorry that there is an issue between neighbors. It isn't fun for any of you all that's there. So I hope that staff can come, continue to do what we are doing. But I don't think any metric is going to be satisfied to either party. That's what it sounds like, in my opinion. So I just don't want to spend our meetings getting in the middle of conflict between neighbors. Thank you, Mayor.
Yeah, thank you, Commissioner James. I usually don't like to address public comments, but this is an issue, and I've known you, Paul, for years, and I know you're a very reasonable person. So, and our kids go to school together. So, for what we're trying to do, all I can say is that from our code enforcement to our BSO to our city attorney to our commission, we're doing everything we can to make it more viable for our neighbors, for the people who matter in our city. And it comes down to what I said this before is neighbors being neighborly, and sometimes it's not the case with certain neighbors. And it is a difficult situation, but we're just going to keep navigating as we can from our standpoint as a city, and with our code ordinance and our BSO. But everybody's aware of the situation, and I thank you guys for coming in tonight. Appreciate it. All right, moving on to the consent agenda. Are there any items that the commission wishes to pull from the consent agenda? Commissioner James.
Make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Motion to approve the consent agenda. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second from Vice Mayor Llewellyn. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, the ayes have it. Commission agenda passes unanimously. Thank you very much. There we go. There we go. We got a lot going on in that. We got a lot going on in that.
17 items.
Yeah. Exactly. We had 17 items. You know, it goes everything from tax savings to, construction to FAU, watershed master plan to our lift stations, stormwater reserve funds, FDEP, Pure Restoration, IT Parker, CW Thomas, IT equipment. So a lot going on in that consent agenda. Thank you all for your hard work on that over the last 6 weeks. Happy we got it done. That'll make the meeting move on a little quicker too. All right, next we have our bids and requests for proposals, and we'll start with 9.1, please, Eve.
A resolution of the City Commission awarding the request for proposal 24-11, Pure Concession Management to HZIP LLC, and authorizing the proper officials to execute an agreement with that company for management of the Dania Beach Pier and Bait Shop, providing for conflicts and effective date, Parks and Recreation.
Wait.
Have to turn on? All right, I think I'm on now. Good evening, Cassie Warren, Director of Parks and Recreation. Thank you, Mayor, Vice Mayor, City Commissioner, and City Manager. We went out to bid for Pier Concession Management because the contract with West Track Marina, or West Track, I guess, has expired. They are in a month-to-month extension right now through the end of October. We received one bid on the RFP. The bid, we reviewed it very thoroughly because we did only receive the one bid. We had a bunch of questions we went back and forth with the management company on. After review by the team, we all feel very confident that this company will help take that management to the next level. They're investing some of their own money into the project itself. They have said that they will invest up to $30,000 to bring the space to a better place. As well as they are responsible for minor maintenance out of their own pocket to pay for things up to $5,000, which I think is a great addition for us out there.
And you said they're doing their own improvements too, right?
They're doing some improvements up to $30,000 to start when they get selected.
Great. Commissioner James?
Yes, I have one question. Will there be any type of training so that they know the code of what they can ask and what they can't ask? I know in the past we've had some issues about even service animals and what you can ask and what you can't ask, and that is kind of, I want to know because we change our codes often. And
yes, and we'll do a thorough introduction to the beach rangers, to the ocean rescue staff, because they do work hand in hand with any incidents that might take place, assisting with removal of animals if they get trapped in fishing line, things like that. So we will make sure that we have a meeting setting our expectations, just like we did with Oasis, and do those introductions to make sure they know our ordinances, rules, regulations, etc.
Thank you.
Commissioner Salvino?
I just have a question on that. We put it out for contract. We maintain the pier. We fix it. We spend $1 million on it. Why don't we run the pier and hire our own employees?
We've looked into it, and I've done it both ways, actually, and it's very expensive. It's extremely expensive, and the staff turnover in positions like that it's difficult to find because of the hours of operation. You run it till midnight, you open it up at 5 a.m. in the morning, so it works out better to use a management company in this case.
Just a question. Thank you.
Yep.
Okay. Thank you, Cassie. Any other questions for our director, our department head? Nope. All right. Motion? Okay, I have a motion from Commissioner James to approve item 9.1. Vice Mayor Llewellyn?
Second.
I have a second from Vice Mayor to approve item 9.1. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed say nay. All right. Item passes.
Thank you.
Okay, congratulations to our new management company. We look forward to a continued partnership. I think it's a 5-year contract with the option of 2-year renewal. Okay. Item 9.2, please, Eve. I'll turn it off. I got it.
A resolution of the City Commission authorizing the award of RFP 24-6, Planning, Zoning, and Code Compliance Software for Tyler Technology, Inc. This is a community development item.
Good evening, Eleanor Narina, Community Development Director. So the department is looking to, we were looking to award the bid for upgraded department software, which includes permitting, licensing, planning and zoning, and code compliance module. The goal is to adopt a more modern and robust system capable of streamlining processes, increasing efficiency, enhancing transparency, and increasing customer satisfaction. We did receive 11 responses, and staff is recommending, or the committee is recommending Tyler Technologies to award the bid to them in the amount of $356,577. We currently have a Tyler Technology software, so this would be an upgrade to the current system. Staff is very impressed with what the capabilities are, and I think the customer portal and transparency of the customer seeing code compliance violations, permitting, and electronic plan review is very useful. So staff is recommending approval of this award. If you have any questions, I'm here.
Just to be clear, this is renewing an existing contract and improving, right?
No, so we went out to bid, so we received responses to a new software system. It just so happened that the company that we're awarding the bid to is a company that we're currently using for New World. New World is being, I guess, discontinued. There's the word I'm looking for. Thank you. Discontinued, and their new software is called Intergov, which is very capable. A lot of other cities in the surrounding area are using this software as well.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Any questions? No questions? Any motions? Vice Mayor Llewellyn? Motion to approve. Commissioner James?
Second.
Second to approve item 9.2. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed say nay. All right. Item 9.2 passes unanimously. Clerk? 9.3, please, Eve.
A resolution of the City Commission authorizing the city manager to execute an agreement with 8 surveying and/or mapping services companies: Calvin Giordano, Caulfield and Wheeler, Graven, Thompson and Associates, Ingenuity Group, Florida Technical Consultants, Longitude Surveyors, Miller, Legg and Associates, and SMG Delivery Data. This is a community development item.
Thank you. So the staff is recommending approval to award the bid to all of these consultants. We're looking to have a pool of consultants to be able to pull from when we need services like GIS, mapping, surveying, and we've worked with a majority of these consultants, so we are familiar with them and familiar with their capabilities, so we're recommending approval of all 8 into the pool.
Okay. Vice Mayor Llewellyn? Okay, go ahead. No, this isn't a public hearing. Okay, I have a motion to approve from Vice Mayor Llewellyn.
Second.
Commissioner James, second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed say nay. All right, item 9.3 passes for our surveyors. Okay, 9.4, Eve.
A resolution of the City Commission authorizing the proper city officials to execute an agreement for various departments to utilize temporary employment services to be obtained from the vendors in accordance with the request for proposal. It's an HR item.
Oh,
Now you're
can't
on.
hear? Okay. We went back out for RFP because most of our departments that use temporary agency, which is not very often, were not fully satisfied with the agencies that were available. So we went back out. There were 8 agencies that were responsive, that met all the criteria. And so the award, just like the last one, was to use any or all of them, depending on the needs of the department.
All right, any questions for HR? Commissioner James?
Thank you.
All right, Commissioner James, I have a motion to approve. Vice Mayor Llewellyn? Second. I have a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed say nay. All right, item passes unanimously. Okay, on to our quasi-judicial and public hearing items. 10.1, Eve.
A resolution of the City Commission approving the site plan submitted by Rumor Properties Limited for the property located at 2555 West State Road 84 within the City of Dania Beach, providing for conditions, conflicts, and effective date. This is a community development item, and I need to ask if there are any disclosures by you as the commission, if you've received any communications from the general public or the applicant, and whether you can be impartial after those communications. Seeing none.
Any disclosures? No? Okay.
And finally, I need to swear everyone in. So nobody has to stand, but whoever is going to be testifying, or if the public's speaking, please raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Thank you.
Hi, thank you. Corinne LaJoy, Deputy Director of Community Development. This is a site plan modification application that's before us today. It is located on West State Road 84, so it's on the very north part of the city. The zoning of the property is MA1. It has an industrial land use designation, and it's approximately an acre and a half in size. There is an existing building on the property, which is an office warehouse use, and there are no violations on the property. This is an aerial photo of the property showing you the location. It is north of State Road 84, so it's way up there near Secret Woods is where it's located. As I said previously, it's an acre and a half parcel north of State Road 84 on Marina Mile, and it's near the Secret Woods Nature Center. The parcel has an existing building of about 14,000 square feet with parking that is provided for that building. The site is currently used as an office warehouse for vessel engine repair. The property is operating as RPM Diesel Engine Company, which is currently in our city today, and they're just simply wanting to expand. So the approval request for the site plan would allow the development of a new 5,000 square foot building on the north end of the property. So there'd be a total of almost 20,000 square feet building footprint. So with the additional 5,000 square foot building, they're also providing parking for that structure. So there'll be 10 new parking spaces. And as part of the site plan, we're establishing a cross-access agreement on the property so the property to the north can continue accessing their property through this site. So that's the way it's functioning today. There's just no formal documentation that legally allows that. So we're establishing that at this time as well. So this will simply preserve the movements that are currently happening across the property. So this is the graphic on the left shows the existing building and the new building. That's why there's two buildings footprints. The white parcel, the white rectangles are the building footprints, and then the property, the photo on the right is the close-up of the new warehouse that's being constructed. This is what it's going to look like. They did do community outreach. They did mailed notice to the surrounding property owners in March, and we've heard no opposition from the public. Based on the applicant's preliminary drainage reports, the plan indicates that the project will meet the enhanced storm water interim design standards that are code regulations, and they're providing 29.3% pervious area. The project is a site plan, so it did go through Development Review Committee in November and again in January. They've addressed all the critical comments before coming to the meeting, so the remaining comments are identified in the staff report and are in the resolution. Should the resolution be approved, they'd be conditions of approval that they'd have to address prior to the issuance of a permit. The development of this project would expand the city's tax roll. They would have to pay public art fee. They are outside the regional activity center, so they would not have to pay that, and they are not residential, so the recreation and park space is not a requirement. The application is consistent with the city's comprehensive plan for the future land use element, policy 1.3 and policy 20.1. And at this time, staff's recommending approval of the site plan modification, provided those outstanding DRC comments are made condition of the approval. And I'm available if you have any questions, and I believe the applicant is here and has a presentation of their own as well.
Okay. Before I open up to the public, I invite the applicant to come up and give your presentation if you'd like.
You did a great job.
Okay, yeah.
You don't have much more to say, but I think it's,
do you have the presentation?
Yeah,
Yes.
you don't have to.
I know I don't have to, but I would like for, this is
Sure.
a,
Come on.
this is a very important, I think, business in your area, and I want to just introduce you to the CEO. And it's been around he's been with the company for over 50 years, and just wanted to share.
Why don't you state your name and address first?
I'm sorry, Debbie Danto, my address, 1811 Bel Air Avenue, Lauderdale by the Sea, Florida, 33062. So thank you for having us today, and it's a pleasure listening to you talk and speak about all the programs in Dania Beach. Thank you.
My name's Brian McDonald. I live in Coconut Creek, 690 Northwest 48th Ave, but I work at RPM Diesel, 2555 West State Road 84. I'm the CEO and president. I'm also the CEO and president of the adjacent company, Diesel Services of America, and I help the owners of the family watch the property on 2565. So we have 3 pieces of land here at 2501, 2555, and 2565. Well, through the years, I've been there 52 years. I started off as a parts runner, and I went to school with the owner's kids, so that's how I got this job. And I've been working there. Well, anyways, we started off very small, and we moved into we built the 2555 building and moved from 2501. And back when we started, we were roughly 12, 15 employees. When we ended up at 2555, we'd say we were about 20, 30 employees. Well, now we're up to 45. That's just RPM. And as far as the shop, our shop has gone from 10 mechanics to 19 mechanics and a service office, and we're just basically running out of business. If anybody has drove by the property, you'll see that we've ended up getting a few 20-foot containers, which I'd like to get out and take that property that's outside and put into a regular building, which is retail parts, specialty tools, and we just have no more room. Our mechanics, now 2 or 3 mechanics are sharing one bench inside of the shop. Through the years, I'd say we probably did $400,000 in sales. Up to now today, we're up to $16 million annual sales, and I want to keep the business keep growing. You know, our business has mainly been built off of reputation. We do very little advertisement. We have a very good reputation that mouth-to-mouth employee and customers. We have repeated customers. I've been there for 52 years. We've had other employees that have been 40 years, 35 years. We used to have the highest employee retain that a lot of people have ever seen. A lot of people, when they talk to me, they can't believe I've been there for 52 years. I started off as a teenager. So all I'm doing is I would like to get this passed so we can finally start planning on building this building so we can help the company grow and hire more people. And one more thing too, we also work with Broward College. We help them get their Marine College going for the young kids. We were the company that was instrumental in the Marina Mile Association when it was there. And we also were the ones that named it the Marina Mile. So we've been there for a long time, where we have wonderful neighbors, and whatever we could do to get this going, I'd like to know. So thank you for your time.
Okay. Thank you, sir. This is a public hearing. Does anybody from the public wish to speak on this item? All right, seeing none. Commissioner James?
Make a motion to approve 10.1.
I have a motion to approve 10.1. Vice Mayor Llewellyn? Second. I have a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed say nay. None opposed. All right. Okay, congratulations, and it's an honor to have your business in our city for so long. You named Marina Mile?
Yeah.
Really?
The owner did.
Wow. Very interesting. Very interesting. All right. All right. Well, congratulations. Thank you very much. Look forward to continued business in our city. So, a lot of people don't even know that's in our city, by the way. Yeah. Okay, E 10.2.
A resolution of the City Commission pursuant to the requirements of Florida Statute Section 255.065, after holding the first of 2 public hearings, accepts the unsolicited proposal by Rita Crockett Beach Sports Academy for a qualified project for the Pit, a beach sports facility at Frost Park, and authorizing a second public hearing for a determination, providing for conflicts. Now, this is my item. And unfortunately, I had to drag poor Rita back down here.
From Switzerland.
You were in Switzerland? I did not know that. I'm so sorry.
No, but she finished her vacation.
Okay. I'm still sorry. And the reason is we had this on discussion and possible action on the July 9th meeting. On July 1st, the state changed the law. And we have to have 2 public hearings on unsolicited proposals. So this will be the first of 2. It basically is, instead of requiring you to go out and do bids once you get an unsolicited proposal and advertise it, it just makes you have 2 hearings. So this will be the first one. The second one will be at the next meeting. And at that proposal, there just has to be a finding of the public necessity, which Rita and I have been working on with Cassie. And that will be presented to you all. And this is a public hearing. So you have the proposal in here if anybody has any questions, but we certainly had a lot of public input the last time. We can incorporate that by reference in here and just move on.
Okay, this is a public hearing. Does anybody wish to speak on this item? Seeing none, Commissioner James?
Make a motion to approve 10.2.
Motion to approve 10.2, Vice Mayor Llewellyn.
Second.
Second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed say nay.
Good night.
All right, motion passes.
And Rita, I'm so sorry. I had no idea you were in Switzerland.
Thanks for coming out, Mrs. Crockett. Okay. All right, now we're on our first reading ordinances. Item 11.1, we're getting there.
Way to move this meeting along, Mr. Mayor.
An ordinance of the City Commission authorizing the expenditure of city funds exceeding $1 million for rebuilding lift stations 4, 6, and 11, providing for codification. This is public services.
You could press it. It should turn on for you.
So, good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Commissioners. This is Dincho Rosaiden, Deputy Public Service Director and City Engineer. When we have expenditures more than $1 million, City Commission approval is needed. Lift Station 4, 6, and 11, located 1151 Southeast 5th Street, 631 Northeast 2nd Street, and 1700 Northeast 7th Avenue. We are going to advertise these rehabilitation projects, and that's the first reading for these expenditures to be approved.
Commissioner James?
Make a motion to approve.
Motion to approve, Vice Mayor Llewellyn?
Second.
I have a second. All in favor say aye. Aye. Oh, wait. This is a public hearing. Does anybody from the public wish to speak on this item?
Either one of the 2 of you?
Okay. No one wishes to speak on this. I have a motion from Commissioner James, second from Vice Mayor Llewellyn. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed say nay. Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you.
Okay. Now for second reading ordinances. Eve?
An ordinance of the City Commission amending Chapter 7, Water and Sewer, Article 6, Stormwater Utility, at Section 27-304, Stormwater Assessment Authorization, to authorize the city administratively allow the city to modify and equitably assess stormwater utility charges after review of the assessment roll, providing for conflicts. This is a finance item.
Good evening, everyone. Frank DiPaolo, Chief Financial Officer. This is the second reading of an ordinance that we brought before you earlier in the summer, and essentially it's exactly what the title says. We're just seeking to administratively make updates to the stormwater assessment roll wherever we see fit on a case-by-case basis, and it just requires an update to the city code to do that.
Okay, this is a public hearing. Does anybody wish to speak on this item? Seeing none. Commissioner James?
Make a motion to approve 12.1.
Motion to approve 12.1. Vice Mayor Llewellyn?
Second.
A second. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed say nay. All right. Motion 12.1 passes. Thank you, Frank. Nice tie. Okay. Okay, now we're on for discussion and possible action. Item 13.1. This is my item. Allow me to pass this out to the commission. Do we have anything that you can put overhead, Ralph, or no? There you go. Okay. You guys want this, or you already know? It's all the same. Yeah. Okay, so this is my item. This address is 212 Northeast 1st Avenue. It's just across the street from Frost Park on the northwest side. It's a fairly large lot. I believe it's like 9,000 square feet, just about, somewhere around there. Nice corner lot. The city actually owns a little easement next to it. I am just seeking a request that we can order appraisal, as per procedure, to see the price of this property and potentially purchase it for the city. It's right across from Frost Park, and it makes sense, and it looks like a good spot that we could probably put the Frost House at Frost Park, if you ask me. So, what I'm asking for is just approval so we can get the appraisal, get the process going. It would increase our land and our green space as well.
It could theoretically also increase our park space, which is something we need under the increase of rack units.
Yes, yes. Commissioner Salvino?
Yeah, I do. What's the true purpose of purchasing this property?
Well, I'd say we could purchase it to increase our green space, and it's across from our park, and I think it's a good site that we can move the Frost House to.
Well, we haven't agreed to that.
No, we're not. We're just
Okay.
agreeing to appraise it.
How much do you think that
So we
lot's
can
worth?
purchase the lot. The lot is for sale right now. I think they're asking, I should know this, $460,000 for the lot. Yeah, $469,000.
I mean, I would go with whatever the commission approves, but I don't see the purpose in it unless there's I haven't gotten a good reason yet to spend $460,000 yet, other than that. Okay, we have the appraisals cost money, don't they? Okay. For an
They do.
appraisal, I have no issue.
Yeah, it's a vacant lot. It shouldn't be too difficult to appraise. The price for appraisal, I would say, for something like that, like $500-600 for one appraisal. Yeah, yeah. Don't quote me on that, but
Let's say approximately $5,000 just to be safe. I don't want to give you a false.
Yeah, it's government spending, so I'm just to be safe, we'll say not to exceed $5,000. But it really should not be too difficult of an appraisal. It's a very easy property to appraise. Commissioner James?
Is this property in the CRA, I believe? Is it? Is it
I
not?
don't think so.
I know the casino is. It's like a puzzle piece. If we're talking about rack units.
Corinne, can you tell us if this property, 212 Northeast First, is in the CRA?
I only asked that while she's coming down, because I know we've set aside money, for the acquisition and stuff like this for properties. And so if, it will already be one of the missions to be able to go and see properties that we could potentially purchase. Hi, Corinne. Yeah, put your mic on. Okay.
Thank you. Good evening. This area is north of 2nd, correct?
It's across from the park.
Across from
Right,
Frost
north
Park.
of Frost Park.
It's east of Northeast 2nd Avenue, and it's north of Northeast 2nd Street.
Yes, I do.
I mean, south of Northeast 2nd Street. Here you go. It's on the southwest corner of Frost Park.
While Corinne is looking at that, as Eve mentioned, as we grow our population, for LOS, our level of service, we should really look to grow our green spaces and parks for whatever uses you guys want. But I think it's a good idea because we need to be growing our green spaces.
I'm sorry. So what was your question for me?
Is this property in the CRA?
In the Regional Activity Center, yes.
Okay,
Yes.
good. Then that
So
makes
maybe
Yes.
that's a discussion that you could probably have with Mr. Cheney. You might not even need this because that's what he's supposed to be doing with monies.
Yeah.
But I would say we have to be clear about if we're doing this for green space or to house a house, because you said both, and we can't do both. So I know that we need green space, if we're going to continue to develop other things, but I don't want to say we're getting it for green space if it's. I'd rather you say what it is, and we can just, make that decision and that discussion. I don't want to bait and switch. I don't want that. So
No, you know what? Let me
decision
clarify what I said. For parks and recreation.
No, you didn't say it. I was talking about the mayor.
Oh, I'm sorry.
When he first said it, he said, we need green space, and then it would be a good idea. Whatever the intention is, I want to have that discussion on what that is. I don't want to flip-flop between the two.
Well, right now it's just green space, and then we're going to develop
Of course, it is.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mayor.
And if you have houses, you got front yards, you have backyards, just so you know. But, okay, do we have consensus to get it appraised, and then we could approach this through the CRA? Yeah? Okay. Okay. Perfect. Commissioner Salvino?
Thank you, Mayor. You know,
We have
I understand everybody's thinking on this. It's a residential, you're looking at residential houses all along the street, and then you're looking at, you know, a couple of different options, you know, green space for parks and so on, which is not really a bad situation because the park is across the street. Then you're talking about moving a house there, which is a possibility, but, you know, spending the money of I can tell you it's $460 something thousand. There's no question in my mind what they're getting for that lot, probably, because even on the appraisal that was in the back of the book, the land appraisal from the tax assessor's office was $300,000. So that automatically tells you it's probably at least $100,000 under what the selling value would be. For us to spend $400,000 on taxpayers' money to buy an empty lot, I'd have to see as my vote, I'd have to know exactly what's going on, what purpose it has, and what benefit it has. And until either whether we bring it back on the commission or whether we bring it back to the CRA, it has to be just like Commissioner James says. We have to have exactly what it's for, not a hit this or that, because that's going to make a difference. That it's not going to be just there to be purchased and bought and sit there for options. It's going to have a purpose. So I think the commission should be, you know, alerted to the fact that we need to have something behind that, so that if we do spend a lot of money on a lot that I think is a lot of money for an empty lot, that we better be able to answer to the taxpayers why we're spending that money. Okay, so that's what I have to say, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Salvino. All right, moving on. Item 13.2. This is sponsored by Commissioner Salvino.
Guess who's back? Anyhow, thank you very much, Mayor, for letting me speak on this. I brought this up for political campaign situations on city property. There was some conflict of I guess, of what we can and can't do on city property as far as the campaigning goes. And when we do the campaign days, we have 7 sites that we can have our tents set up or whatever I do for the voting. And when it came up to the sites and so on, I said to the city attorney and the city manager, I'd like to, to use the edge of the arts park or along that driveway. There's something just enough to, be near the 150 foot of the open door of the thing like we would at any other facility. And they said, well, you can't do that on city property. And I said, well, that's not true because you do it at Frost Park. So if you do it at Frost Park, why can't you do it here? I said, now you're asking us if you can show me a place that we can do that. Then I'll pull my request back. The only thing was, is I know that in the prior past that when Vice Mayor Llewellyn owned the restaurant across the street, it was a little easier to utilize the area that was there to set the tent because she cooperated with allowing us to use her private property at that time. I don't know if that's the case again with the new owners that are there or the drugstore. There's a possibility. I just haven't asked, but there'll be 7 candidates looking to set up this time instead of 5 or 4, and it's going to take a lot of space. So what I'm looking for the commission to do is in the city under whatever it would is to go ahead and do a resolution for the option to have us to be able to set up the tents on city hall property or city property for the day of election and early voting, huh?
I can provide some clarity, just additional information. So if you look at the last page of the item, there's a map, and we took a lot of the content from what the city of Hollywood does. Their code, like our code, prohibits any signage, political signage in particular, but any signage on city property. So the city of Hollywood created a policy, and so we modeled ours after theirs, that now this one just addresses City Hall. If you want to do all the locations, the manager can come up with a GIS map and do that, but right now it's just for City Hall. And basically, this policy would allow outside of the 150 foot. So all that red area is the 150 foot area that has been designated by the state and Broward County elections as the no use zone. So all the signage would have to be either in what would eventually be the Veterans Park after the red line or in the Arts Park after the red line. And but we're asking that there be no tents, because that's a problem for the administration with the holes in the ground and everything else. There could be chairs, and you can have your signage, and then the day after the election have the signs removed. This is only for during early voting and during election day. No amplified speakers or anything else. And so we're asking for, what is your direction as to this request?
Well, added to that, I just say with no tents, I'm not talking about having someone come out and put a tent in the ground. I'm talking about using a pop-up tent or an umbrella-style tent just to keep the sun off of us. I don't know what kind of damage that can do to the grass. Listen, I'm not going to argue with the city or the policies. It's a job that a commission has to decide on, I think, at this point. And I think it's up to the commission to understand that any political opportunity that we have to work for people that are going to work for the city, we should be able to have an opportunity to present ourselves to the public. And I don't want to be debating the city attorney, the city manager, or anybody else about, what's about a hole in the grass or this or that. It's either yes, we can, or no, we can't. And if you can tell us we can do it, that doesn't violate a state or our county rule.
Ultimately, it's your decision as
please.
policy.
I'm not done. I don't like to be interrupted, okay? And then if we go ahead and we do that and decide, you can give us the true rule of where we can do it, and then I think it's up to the city commission to decide whether if they want allowed to do it. That's all. It's not. I don't want to have limitations to. I don't mind the limitations that you can't put up a master tent, like we do for events that we have, but something. Bless you. I just don't want to turn it into a circus where you can do this, you can only have one chair, you can do this chair, you can do that kind of chair. I don't want that kind of ruling. It's very simple. We can put a pop-up tent, a small table, and a couple chairs to sit there and do it, and you just tell us where. But the commission has to tell us okay, and you have to tell us where we're allowed to do it. That's all. And I think that's something that should come into future use down the road, unless we can come up with another. Whatever alternative you come up with, I think that would be okay. But for to stick us outside, if they say no over there against against those places over there on the east side of the city hall, and they say no, there's nowhere for us to do. Period. That would be in line of people coming in to vote. Okay, I'm done.
If I may, Commissioner, you brought this to our attention. And we always work with you or any of the elected officials that are sponsoring an item. And like Eve said, at the end of the day, it's your decision. But we have a Veterans Park that we're working on. We have the Arts Park that we're working on. We discussed it with Candido and Code. We're still in hurricane season, and we're still doing business here at City Hall. It's up to you, the ultimate decision. But if you're going to put a tent and there's going to be tables and chairs and things like that, that would be our recommendation, that whatever you put out there, that at the end of the day at 7, you take it down and you set it up again, because you never know. You can have a wind and things blow. But again, it's your ultimate decision. We can only guide you because we want to get to yes, but we need to protect our resources, our parks, and our investment in the Arts Park particularly. Thank you.
Commissioner James?
Yes. What does the current ordinance say? I'm just going off of when I ran. I know that we did have tents at Frost Park. We had tents everywhere. It was Tent City. But I want to know what the ordinance says and why we're differentiating a part of the city's property from location. That's number one. And then about the holes in the grass from tents, we have a lot of events here that encompasses our grass and tables, chairs, hundreds of people that are on the grass with tables and chairs. And so I know I'm not running, but it is important because whoever decides to run, I think it should be fair and it should be consistent in what we do. And so if the problem is because it's going to put a hole in the grass, well, that eliminates all of the events that we have here with Dang It After Dark, which we do on a monthly basis when we do start that. And we have a lot of people that walk all throughout our entire city hall. So I want to know what my vote goes to what is consistent, what the code says, and, if we're, and to follow those rules.
The code says no signage, period. So, I understand, and last election, which was 2 years ago, we enforced that, and we got a lot of complaints. Commissioner Salvino brought it to our attention, so based upon his request, I looked what some other cities do, and we modeled this after City of Hollywood. Now, as to the details, if you want a tent, we put it in. You want chairs, you want umbrellas, we put it in. It's not,
So no signs in the ground.
No signs on city property.
Okay, because I know with the City of Hollywood, you couldn't have them on the ground, but you could have them on your tent. You can have them unattached to the ground.
It's because of their policy. They actually wrote a policy.
Oh, they just wrote a new policy?
No, it's been there for years.
Okay, so what I'm saying is, everyone that's up here, with the exception of the mayor, has campaigned at the City of Hollywood at that circle, and we have had tents, and even if the canopy of the tent is not in the ground, it's on the canopy, and people hung signs on the sides of the tents. That's why I'm trying to get clarification from you.
To be clear, I'm sorry if I wasn't clear. We modeled it after it, but we took input from staff onto whether to have tents or not. But if you want tents, we take that section out.
Okay.
But our current code doesn't allow it.
Okay, well, that's what I'm saying. When you say signs, does it have to be touching the ground? Because Hollywood, it didn't have, you could have the sign as long as it wasn't quote unquote touching. I'm just trying to get clarification.
In Hollywood, they don't even address it. They just said, you can have signage in this circle. And that's basically what they did.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. You can put your sign outs like 2 years ahead of time in Hollywood also.
To what?
Commissioner Salvino?
Yeah, I'll just simplify it. If you want to write it down or what do you want to do? I'm asking the commission to allow us for early voting and day of vote, to allow us to put a tent no bigger than 10 by 10. Pop-up tent has to be put up when we go in, taken down at night. Only be able to put table or chairs underneath our own tent, whoever has their own tent. So we clean up our own mess. I would like us to be able to put a sign either a stake sign in front of the tent and a sign maybe to be able to hang on the tent. And if we want to hold a sign in our hand or wear a shirt, as long as we don't go putting more all over the place. I mean, at Hollywood, we had them all over the place, but I'm asking to consolidate it to one spot where our tent is at. That way, if a person wants to come up and introduce himself and talk to us about our campaign, they can go just like you do it, like a booth out here. And I think if we, that's pretty simple. If anybody wants to add anything to that, I'm okay with it. But I think that I think it's about as simple as it can be. And as long as we pick it up and take it away, there's nothing there. And like Commissioner James says, the chairs are going to be minimal and the tent's going to be minimal, and it's not going to hurt anything. It's just going to be sat down. And it's not even staking it. I mean, unless you put a couple weights on the bottom or something like that, some sandbags or something on the bottom of them. And that's all I'm asking the commission, if they would approve that. If they can approve that, we can change the ordinance for that, and we'll go from there. Is that okay to simplify it?
Yes. Is it okay with do we have consensus or a motion?
Do we have further discussion? I'd like to add to this. Oh, go ahead, Commissioner Davis.
I just would want to know, I want to be clear about exactly where you're lining, because I think the Veterans Park would be one area, and then the Arts Park would be something different. I'm concerned about a lot of traffic going in where we have, the different art and just people being respectful of the property. So I'm just trying to clarify exactly the area of, was it both of it? Was it both the Veterans Park area and the?
Well, see, that would be up to.
It's up to you all.
You have to tell us where you want it.
Yes, exactly.
I think we should be really careful about what we're about to decide here. From my experience, I thought it was fine 2 years ago. You couldn't put a sign on public property, and look at our. Please don't interrupt me. You look at our parks over here, and we just had the primary election, right? And you could tell where City Hall started and where it ended. And our city hall looked great. It was wonderful to pull up there. It was pristine. There was no signs in the ground. And, we didn't have to worry about littering. We didn't have to worry about people jockeying for position on city land and then saying, I claimed this yesterday and you ain't going to claim it today. It's just, we're really opening up a can of worms here by changing this where, I know Hollywood's Hollywood, but, we don't have to model everything after Hollywood. Like you said, it was chaos over there. So I don't want to introduce chaos onto city property. It's actually nice. And a lot of voters don't want to be hassled when they're coming up to the polls. They walk across the street on the city side. They park in the city parking garage because they just want to walk up and vote without being hassled. Most people have their mind made up already. I understand early voting. Yeah, that's politics. You got to get permission. It's tough. You're definitely jockeying out there. But I'm just not I'm not in favor of opening this up to, because it's not just people that are running for commission also. It's people that are running for every other seat in the county, at small and at large. So you're not talking about 7 people going out there. You're really talking probably about like 15 people going out there. And like I said, that as much as you want to say that you're not polluting or, you're not littering or you're not damaging, it just opens it up that you are. And who knows who's going to actually read the exact city ordinance and look at the cutoff lines and be like, okay, so I guess I could just campaign here in the parking garage when the parking garage is off limits. It's the way that we're going to make it too, it sounds like, is it's going to be very nuanced and very unique where, the average Joe, especially if it's, somebody running for Congress and they hire somebody to come in and place a tent or do signs, it's just going to be a madhouse, in my idea. So, like I said, I just want the commission to think very carefully about this and how you're opening this up, for the future. Right now, I think it's great. And, I drove by the city hall many times during the primary voting and early voting, and I thought everything looked fine. Everything looked great. And, if you wanted to see a sign, it was right across the street or it was right beforehand. So, that's my 2 cents on it. Just really consider the decision we're making here and consider public property as well in the city of Dania. Commissioner Salvino?
I withdraw. Don't worry about it. I was just trying to do what was best for, I thought, giving every candidate an opportunity, as everywhere else that we've been doing for years and years and years. And I don't want to upset the commission or anybody else that's out there. I have a feel that everybody has a negative feeling towards it. So it's not that important. My interest was not for myself. It was just for, the opportunity to be like every other place that we have in the city. And just when you start talking about, I'll just say it, trying to be alike, consistent, we're not consistent. We're not consistent. And it's, you talk about consistency. I can tell you right now that this is not a consistent thing. It's okay because it's City Hall and you have your opinions about City Hall, but City Hall is no different on voting day than Frost Park. And last 2 years ago, I assure you that was on city property. And it was there, and nobody said a word about the litter or anything. But I withdraw it. I'm okay because, you know what, if this is just one precinct out of, there's 6 more. So, instead of upsetting anybody and getting it going, we'll figure out something else and let everybody work on their own and go from there. Because, I don't want to have a problem with Commissioner Davis about which part, it's not a problem, or a discussion about which side of the park and about people walking on the grass, staking it in the grass with, the city attorney says. And the only thing I agree with you on, Mayor, is that you're right. I didn't think about the fact that if there's 7 of us out there, and there could be from other people on voting day, that would be a disaster. But that's also the same in every single precinct, okay? So it just, it's not just, when I asked for City Hall, it's because it was the only one that we're having a problem with having representation, because nowhere else we have that problem. So, but it's not worth it, you're right. By the time they get up there, 80% of the people will know who they're voting for.
Can we get clarity, Candido? Because we're not certain whether this could happen in the city park. So we do want to be consistent. But can they put the signs and do this in city parks?
No, on any city property. Oh. So, we can't control the school board. So I think there's a polling place, is it Olson?
Olson. So
we can't control what they do on their property. And there's another polling station that's on the condo association. They regulate their property. So, but for our property, and I don't know if Ken, if you had the answer, or Eleanor has the answer, but I thought we were consistent 2 years ago on any city property, there were no signs.
Because I want to be sure.
And another thing too is, if you remove them there from Frost Park, now you can put them across the street in Dangerous Way. So all these things have a situation of could put a situation on putting everybody at jeopardy, because now all of a sudden we're going to be different than we've been for years, other than the fact of trying to blend or just set more rules and governmental regulations. And that's what I'm looking at. So I'm sorry, Candido, go ahead.
Candido Sosa Cruz, Deputy City Manager. Manager and Eve are both correct. The ordinance doesn't allow any political signs on city property, other than the other three locations, I believe. But it's not public property. It's, I believe, the estates. Is that correct, Vice Mayor?
Yeah,
with the election, the estates. That's what I think you're referring to as far as the condo association and the school board. Correct. And they have their own rules. And there was some signs at the school board, but that's not something that we govern or oversee. The last time here in the city, as everyone knows, they had to be across the street on the sidewalk, which they are allowed to walk the sidewalk with the shirts, with the signs, or on private property.
Did that happen again at Frost Park on the 2020?
I'm talking about City Hall as well, but they could walk the sidewalk as well. They're allowed to do that. They're allowed to wear their campaign shirts. They can have signs.
Where's that at?
Anywhere in the city.
I'm talking about where it's setting the tents up and stuff like that.
It's not allowed.
Well, did it happen in 2022 and 2020?
If we ran into it, we would tell them that they could not be there.
I'm just saying it did. That's what I'm talking about, inconsistency.
Again,
Yeah, code came out though. And then,
yes,
Yeah.
we went out to several parks. We went out to CW because we did get calls asking for permission. Now, there was no code officer stationed there. We're not just at the park monitoring if someone has a tent or is on the grass, but according to our ordinance, is not allowed.
And City Hall's only early voting. This isn't a voting precinct regularly. Yeah, it's only early voting. Okay. Vice Mayor?
All I want to say is good luck to code, because I know how much they love this time of year. That's all.
I could tell you about our city team and our code officers, we're going to be consistent. And it's not pleasant. Today, we spent time honoring Anson, who also was our union president for many years. A couple of years. But when we get a call, we will address it. But unless you all change the code, our code is we can't have it in any city properties.
Okay, so for possible, did you want to drop it, Commissioner Salvino?
I mean, I didn't want to drop it. I was hoping there was been a resolve on it somewhere, but the city. That means you're putting staff into a situation again on a short notice, and that they're going to have to try to come up with a plan. Like I say, I probably stirred up a can of corn because now we got Frost Park. You're going to eliminate it. Where I've never seen it eliminated before, because I remember, that's city property, and now you're just going to make it more disastrous over there. It could be turned into a liable situation with people sitting on the side of the roads and stuff like that. And, I don't know. I think the code needs to have special event permission for the time of the year of elections. It's just like anything else that we do. And I don't know why we're so stern on it. I see the adamancy in faces of people that don't want it. And it's not something that I see heads going like this a lot about this is the codes and stuff, and I don't want to upset anybody over it, because if it's going to be equal for me as it is for them. I'm just looking at the fact that when you get into an event, you have a special permit. So we're having an event. We're having a 10-day early voting, and we have, and that's a special event. And we put tents up, and we put chairs up, and we put signs up. So what makes it different? I don't know. That's what I call we're not consistent. Because it's an election, You know, I mean, it's, but you know, I'm not, I can't, we can go on and debate what it is, it's back and forth, and I don't want to do that, because I'm not into, I don't want to get into hard discussion and upset, you know. It's not worth it to have animosity amongst my colleagues, so I would rather, well, I don't know, I want somebody, all right, I'll tell you what I'll do, I'll step back and let them speak and get their piece, and maybe I have a different attitude towards it. I don't know. Whatever's best for the city is what I want.
And we will work with whatever decision you make, we will work on it. But if in the past the city has turned a blind eye, that's not what this administration does. If you guys want to keep the code, we will make sure that we follow the rules and stay consistent as we have. And it's not pleasant, you know. But if you guys want to amend it, and that's why we brought that map, so you guys could have that discussion. We brought that map to give you options. But at the end of the day, we'll follow, you know, your lead. You guys are the policy makers here.
Anybody want to speak on it?
Commissioner Davis?
Thank you, Mayor. I do have a bit of mixed feelings because I am, you know, we are running for re-election here, and so I don't want it to be a conflict of interest. I just like things to be fair across the board, and, you know, it is a special event where, you know, you have that last opportunity to touch people before they vote, and I get that. I guess where the conflict comes in is where the nastiness that comes with it, and the you know, the vitriol and different things like that, and I don't want to see that part of it on at City Hall and all that jockeying for positions and things like that. If we can't do it where it's like an orderly way, where we, you know, can figure out something where it's just not mayhem and people are, you know, one day, you know, this is again what the mayor said, because I've seen that. This is my tent space. This is your tent space. That all of that just brings out the absolute worst in people, and I don't want that kind of vitriol every single day. If there's a way to do it where it can be organized and orderly and however, then, you know, maybe we can do it that way. But to up and down, today I got here at 2 o'clock in the morning and my tent is here today and your tent is there. You got here at 7 o'clock, so your tent is there tomorrow. Like that just, it's very messy and it's very, it's just a very off-putting thing. So if we can't organize it in a way that it's clean and clear, and yeah, I don't know how you assign spots or do something into a nature where it's just not mayhem for 10 days, then, you know, I would consider doing it, because I do believe Hollywood was beneficial to a degree, just to be able to give everybody an opportunity to have, you know, that last opportunity to touch with voters. Sometimes they see you, sometimes you have a conversation, and it's just good for people to see you out there if you're committed to doing the job. But I don't like the messiness of it, and so if there's not a way to figure out that organizational piece, then I wouldn't be for it. But if there is a way to do it in such a way that it's orderly and that we can make it safe and keep it away from the vitriol, then I would agree with you on that.
Thank you, Commissioner Davis. Vice Mayor Llewellyn?
I'll tell you the one thing that I'm concerned about with if you use city property, and that's the parking garage. Because if people are allowed to campaign in the parking garage, because that is city property, you can't see what's going on in there as well. And it makes me a little bit nervous about what things could happen. And I just, that's my only area that I feel like I'd be more comfortable still keeping that off limits. And I think things need to be out in the open, you need to be able to see what's going on. And if you can't see what's going on, then that's a problem.
The policy did recommend having nobody in the parking garage because it could be an accident.
Right. I mean, you have people driving, you have people, you know, trying to get, and just trying to get inside. And then, you know, but that's, I mean, that would be the only thing that I'd be more concerned about. But, and there are, I mean, this is going to be a big election, not just for the city, but for everywhere. So it's, there, you know, all levels. So I do think there's going to be a lot more people here than people realize during early voting. But anyway.
I mean, it would be great if we can only do it for those running for this city office.
Yeah,
and I've been back and forth, but you can't do it.
And that's not what's going to happen. You are going to get people from multiple places. And, well, I mean, you're always going to have people that are going to violate the code anyway, are going to violate the rules. And they're doing it already. So we're already seeing signs in places where they're not supposed to be. So, whatever. But we're not going to get into the nitty-gritty of that. But I mean, we're already seeing signs that aren't supposed to be in certain places that are on county and city property. But, you know, it's always messy. So I don't think, I mean, no matter what we do, it's still going to be messy. And again, God bless code. Anyway.
Commissioner James.
Yes, and this is my last comment on this. I do think that the parking garage should be completely off limits. I would not want to see anyone trying to approach me if I'm getting in or out of my car. I might take that as a threat. That is a very dangerous situation to allow people to canvass inside of that parking garage or any parking lot for that matter. You know, when you're just trying to go and cast your vote. So if there's any space or area on this where I'm totally against it, it would be the parking garage, just from a safety standpoint. I do know that elections, I haven't been a part of a single election that has been peaceful, both when I was running and when I wasn't running. It is a competition. A lot of times, many times, it has brought out the worst in people, including myself. And so I understand not wanting it to get to a place to where it is nasty. But again, I don't think that any decision that we make can control the behaviors of people and individuals. I don't know how you can, you know, if it's fair game, if you get up at 12 o'clock in the morning, it's fair game. If you have that space or whatever the space is, it's not yours to say it's yours for the entire 10 days or the day, however many days that it would be for early voting. I do want to remain consistent, and so whatever consistent is, if it's not allowed on any of the properties, then it's not allowed on any of the properties. I don't know when that was changed. I know in 2020 I was right there on Frost Park's property on the grass, and so you know, a lot has changed since then. The city of Hollywood, I've been going early voting there to cast votes and to campaign there. They have always allowed, now they're just saying that you can't park more than 30 minutes, but they have always allowed you to go and be a part of that process, to really be intimate with the voters. And I know that as we continue to evolve as a nation, it continues to get nastier and more dangerous, and really it's not an enjoying experience for the voters. You know, by the time they're out there at line, they've heard from so many different candidates that they probably throw all of the literature in the garbage. But I do also think that there should be a way to where you can campaign, and maybe it's something, if you've been warned a few times, you get kicked off of the property. I don't know what the answer is, but I don't want to just say that we can't showcase who we are, because these may or may not be your next leaders of this city. And I don't want another, every 2 years we're having this conversation. So I don't even know if the answer is in today, or if you guys go back to the table and look at this. But there are definitely some areas of concern where it's safety issues. And then I think that, guess what? We have only become, in the last couple of cycles, a location here at City Hall. So this is very new to us here at City Hall, but it doesn't mean that it can't be done, and it can't be done in a manner to where it is fair for both the candidates and both the workers here. I don't know how any of the city workers of the City of Hollywood got anything done during early votings at any times of the elections, because it was total chaos there. But you know, I don't know if we chose to have City Hall as a voting site or not.
No.
But it's something that we're going to have to continue to deal with. This is something that's probably going to be revisited a lot of times. So that's it.
One more thing, if you guys want us to continue to work on it, because even I've been talking not too loudly, but we would have to have security and BSO there from, an hour before the polls open to after the polls close, because we're going to do it here in our city. We're going to do it right, and everybody's going to feel safe, and they're going to have to stay within the designated area, and we'll have to put a budget together to ensure it gets done right, not just here, but at the parks. Because right now, your code does not allow it. And if we get a call, whether it's for noise or whether it's for a violation of anything in our code, we respond. And a lot of those times, it's your residents that are calling us. So we'll work on it however you guys want us to do. We will make it happen.
Okay. I'll make one more comment. We're talking about being consistent, and it's just saying you can't have any signs or anything on public property. So I'd say that's pretty consistent across the board. I know everybody, have had different experiences. Frost Park seems to be something maybe we could revisit. Frost Park, really, we only have 2 parks where people vote. It's PJ Milley and Frost Park. PJ Milley, you can't even own CW. I forget because it's closing down now. But yeah, I like it. It's consistent right now. I think we should keep it that way. City Hall, if we allow a certain area of City Hall to campaign, like we're opening up a can of worms, and no one's really going to know where the boundary is. So I kind of like it where it is right now, and I guess we could just call it to a vote right now because it's possible action.
Yeah, you can make a motion, or if you have a consensus, or you can give us direction, whatever you'd like us to do.
All right, we'd like to move forward with this meeting. So let's just call it. Let's call it to a vote on where it is right now.
Is there a motion and a second?
No. It's your guys' call. You're the commission.
Like us to revisit it and come back with, okay.
September 12th, we'll come back.
Okay.
We're coming back with our security detail, and we're going to come back with more clarity. But no, it's not just the 7 of you, it's everybody else.
And for the other locations in the city's property.
That is correct.
Yeah, and those properties are limited already. In a way, whatever. That's just an opinion. Okay, we'll move forward. All right, 13.3. This is the Dania Chamber of Commerce sponsorship mayoral address. August 21st, 2024 is a nice event over there at Le Meridian, the Toro. And this is the ratification of use of funds for a city-sponsored table. This is Commissioner James's item. Anything to say, TJ?
Hey, only people that know me call me TJ. No, just that I know that we didn't have time enough to be able to have this meeting, and I asked that it was polled to take it from the contingency, and I had the support then, so it's on the agenda.
Okay. Do we have approval from the commission? Consensus? All right, we have consensus. Moving on. Request to reschedule the Tuesday, October 8th meeting, and then we just covered the CRA board meeting as well. So we covered item 13.5, so this is 13.4. We're moving it up from October 8th, which is a Tuesday, to Monday, October 7th. This is my item. Commissioner Davis?
I just didn't understand the rationale behind all these date changes, because I usually do, we're either second Tuesday of the second and fourth Tuesday, so I understand we do that for certain holidays, if there's a holiday or a school board meeting, but now it just seems like we're changing the dates all around, and I'm not sure exactly why.
This is a request from me for a personal reason, and I sent out an email. Hopefully the commission got it like a month ago, so I wanted to give you guys at least 2 months' notice to see if we can move this up a date. Yeah.
But there's 2, right? I mean, there's...
The other one's for the budget.
Yeah, the other one's for the budget that they moved to Thursday.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me put it in the record, we had to move it because we cannot have our budget meetings when the school board or the county.
That's what I mean. Like,
Yes, that's the reason.
Okay. All right. I just didn't understand why. I wanted to know why.
Vice Mayor?
The November 18th, that's the organizational meeting, isn't it?
That's the next item.
That's the what?
That's the next
next item on the agenda.
I thought we were talking about both interchangeably. Okay, that's fine.
Okay, yeah, there's Tuesday, October 8th for the CRA and the commission meeting on October 3rd. Okay, do I have approval for that consensus? Okay, we have consensus for item 13.4. All right, this is 13.5. Request to reschedule the Tuesday, November 12th, 2024 CRA Board and City Commission meeting to Monday, November 18th. And this is, okay. Yeah, this is
Yes.
because we can't have it on the school board or county
No,
board.
no, no. This is for election reasons, and it's to accommodate for, okay.
It's the code, it's the,
Yes, it's in our code that we should meet the second Monday following the election, there, which is after the election. You're supposed to have a meeting after election. So to make it work in order with your organizational meeting, to swear in the newly elected, start your newly elected meeting with your newly electeds, we would like to move it to the 18th of November versus the 9th, I think is what it would land on.
Okay.
And then we would have the organizational meeting, CRA, commission, with the newly elected officials.
All right. We have consensus? 1, 2. Okay, yes, we have consensus.
Good, thank you.
All right, moving on to item 14. This is Education Advisory Board. We have 2 vacancies. We have one for Vice Mayor Llewellyn, and we have one for Commissioner Salvino. Do you guys have?
I'll have it next time.
All right, clerk. They're going to push that off to the next meeting. Okay, commission comments. We will start with Commissioner Joyce L. Davis.
I'm going to keep this brief, but thank you, Mayor. Wonderful summer. I just want to thank our manager, deputy city manager, and all of our Parks and Rec team for an awesome back-to-school beach cleanup. Maxine especially, all of our team. I mean, really, we all worked together so well, and you know, it was hot, but we had a great time out there, and we're adding new sponsors, we're adding new vendors, and so it just was just a beautiful event. So there's a lot of work that goes into that, so I just wanted to put on the record that I'm very grateful for everybody who has all hands on deck for those events. Hope everybody had a great summertime, and we are back in full swing right now. We did receive an invitation from the AFL-CIO for the Labor Ball. I know we do sponsor some different events as a commission. I think our union is one of those that we should consider, so I'm bringing it up for discussion. It is this Saturday, but we didn't get it until it was over the summer. So the request is to review. I think everybody got one in the mail, at least I did, for a gold sponsorship that would include a table and dinner and tickets and a full page ad, but I don't know that we would have time to get a full page ad in at this time because of the late juncture, but certainly could ask if it was approved. $4,300.
How many seats at the table?
10.
10?
And 6 VIP tickets.
Okay. Commission? She's asked for approval to sponsor a table for the AFL-CIO. It's this Saturday. Commissioner Salvino, go ahead. Sorry, yeah.
What's
Go
that
ahead.
come out to?
For a table.
$43 a ticket? That's $430 a ticket, huh? Is that out of your contingency, or as for the city's contingency?
Well, I just asked, I put it out for discussion to see.
That's too much.
Yeah, I have no problem sponsoring it. I just want to make sure that we could actually,
I can't go,
bring
but-
out a
Fill
table.
out the,
Yeah.
fill in the table.
If you
Yeah,
want
we've had this discussion.
if this, I mean, I'm okay with whatever the commission wants. I think it's a lot of money, but I mean, if you guys feel like it's something that we need to be
How
involved
much
in.
was the chambers?
I don't know, 4,300 for 10. I'm just trying to,
Okay. In addition to the 40.
listen, I don't care.
I mean, I'm just asking.
I-
So
I mean,
I don't want it to be an empty table, so if we're
Yeah.
not going to be able to.
Well, we
fill
should
it,
definitely
the table,
sponsor.
But I think it's good to show support to our union. That's all.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's the next level sponsorship? We can't even get a full page ad in time.
even the silver, the silver is 3,800, and it has it's still 10.
AFL-CIO.
AFL-CIO.
No, AFL-CIO. The union.
It's the union. So you still get a table with the silver.
Commission, have consensus? Any conversation, discussion? Okay. No, we gotta do it, we gotta make a decision now, it's Saturday.
No, if she makes a decision, you buy a table, I mean, can you give us a few days and give like us, and if not, let her fill it in with some of the city's, some of the city administrations.
I will tell you right now, it's Labor Day weekend.
Oh, is it
I'll
this
be honest
weekend?
with you.
Oh, I won't be here. Oh, I thought it was next week. I won't be here.
If it's the following weekend, is it Labor Day weekend?
It's this Saturday.
Yeah, I'm out of town. You want to buy just some tickets for yourself and somebody else? We buy some seats instead if you can't fill a table?
I mean,
Represent a city?
I just think it's good to represent the city. I think it's good to support the union.
I have no problem with it. I just don't want to.
Well, how about, I'll take over if I can. Is the commission comfortable with just donating a certain amount of money, not to exceed, $2,000 for the AFL-CIO? Show our support.
How much?
$2,000.
Well, I don't care what you guys give.
Well, it would have to be a sponsorship level. The sponsor, I mean,
What's the lowest sponsorship level?
38.
3,800?
And
Okay.
then you could just do, you could just do individual dinner tickets if that's what we wanted to do, and, that's fine as well. I just think that, the union is a great organization to support, but it's up to you guys, and, or I can just do it for my own contingency. I mean, I could do that too. I could just give them a donation from my contingency. I mean, however you guys want to do it or not do it, you don't have to support it. I was asking if you wanted to join in for it. If you do, then great. If not, then not.
Well,
I support
would
the
go if I'm-
AFL. I support the AFL-CIO. I think this is last minute. I don't think that, and I think it's a very expensive table, and we haven't necessarily done it before. And I'm not going to be here. Commissioner Salvito's not going to be here. I don't know who all is going to be here, but just for a price point, and that's my vote is no.
Okay. So, I guess we'll just call it to a vote. Either we do the gold sponsorship or not, right?
Or the silver.
How much is an individual ticket?
$175.
Yeah, why don't we just buy 5 tickets?
Or $275. No, I can't see. Let me know.
She wants a sponsorship? Okay. Yeah. Commissioner Davis represents that as well. They're gonna know Dania Beach is in the house when she's there.
Well, then I'll just do an individual ticket then, or whatever, but I just think it's nice to support them, so. So either you want to do sponsorship or I do, individual.
All right, let's call it to a vote. Individual, how many tickets we talking here? I just want to be clear. Just
Well,
one?
it would just depends on who would want to attend. I mean, we could do up to 1,000 or whatever with 275 times what? I mean, I would want people to be able to be there. That's all.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. I want at least representatives from the city to go. If we buy a table, we just have a big empty table. It's not very representative of us.
Why don't you ask some people
Yeah.
if they can go?
Well, we just got this over the summer, so that's why I'm saying we haven't had an opportunity to bring it up. We haven't had an opportunity to ask people if they would want to go. The last time we filled it up with board members or, people from, different boards or whatever, so.
Well, what's the silver level sponsorship? What's the difference?
3,800.
No, but what's the difference? Did you get an ad in paper?
Half a page.
Oh, yeah, we don't even have an ad.
We don't
We
have
can't even
an
put an ad
ad,
out,
right.
so it doesn't make sense.
Right.
Yeah. All right, well, okay, let's say we purchase, 4 tickets, right? That sounds good. Four tickets for the city?
Yeah.
Do we have consensus on that? from the commission? 4 tickets?
Yeah,
I have 1. Any more? Okay, 4 tickets from the city. Done.
okay.
Continue on, Commissioner Davis.
I think that's about it. I'm done. Is there any happy Labor Day? This is the labor union, Labor Day. I appreciate everybody, all of our people who work so hard every day. That's why I want to support the labor union, because it's hard out here, and then we have a lot of great workers in this city. So I just want to thank everybody who works for us. I appreciate all the hard work that you do, especially in this summer heat that I see you guys out there. I don't know how you do it, but I'm very grateful for each and every one of you. So happy Labor Day. I hope you enjoy it to the fullest and take that well-deserved day off as you should. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Commissioner Davis. Commissioner James?
Excuse me, yes, thank you. I just want to thank everyone who came out to Tamara James Day. Thank you, Commissioner Salvino, for coming and helping give out the giveaways and to meet some of the community. We were able to give out 1,000 backpacks filled with school supplies and had representation from a lot of different area schools that are in District 1 in our district, including Dania Beach and the city of Hollywood. Also heard very good things about the school takeover. I'm not sure how much money we have left in our contingency. I know that we have enough left to make sure that we can have another school takeover in this academic year to follow. Frank, how much money do we have in our contingency? A lot, I know. More than $4,500, well over that, right? But in the event, and while he's coming down here, I wanted to get consensus of the commission to earmark $4,500 in the commission contingency so that you all could continue that in the next year following to come.
4,500 to continue. Do I have consensus for that?
What was that?
1, 2, 3.
I'm not remembering what that was.
Oh yeah, DJ Nasty. Yeah,
She
yeah,
didn't
yeah.
say no. He was amazing. They came out with their DJs and they took over all of the cafeterias for all 3 schools with music, and it was very fun. And
He gave out prizes.
He gave out the whole point of it all was to encourage our students to write. They all had to write essays. They were surprised with their parents, with not only the school takeover, with the winning student, their class won a pizza party, as well as they were showered with gifts, shopping sprees, electronics, money, cash, and they were very, very happy, very excited. And okay, Frank, go ahead.
You have consensus on that, though.
Okay.
Yeah.
There, in the commission contingency, yeah, there's enough to cover that. There's.
Okay, you don't want to tell me that amount. Okay, that's
It's
good.
about 153,000. We were looking yesterday. So,
okay.
yeah.
Okay. No, that's why he didn't want to say it.
What's the number?
It's about 150. I think it was about 153,000 was the last number I saw in the overall, separate from the individual discretionary accounts.
So that way we can have it here for next year. And what would happen?
I'm sorry?
I was asking if we could earmark $4,500 in this year's contingency so we could have that again.
You already got the approval. You're good.
No, I know, but I'm talking about this year versus next year's contingency, although we never spent it all.
We, as a practice, I would recommend not to do that. I would recommend taking it out of next, because we have a full contingency next year in the budget, and we've only done that for large exceptional items that you all agreed that were important enough to hold on to the money and roll it forward. I mean, at the end of the day, it's your decision, but I would recommend not to do that.
Okay, so I guess I have to change it. Is it okay to earmark it for next year's contingency? Hello?
I'm okay.
I don't want to go against Frank's.
I said next year's.
Okay, I'm fine with that.
Thank you.
All right, we have consensus. It was a nice event. I went to it. It was a good event with the children. It's good to see the kids get involved in that manner. They get to party, they get to have pizza party, and they do get some nice awards. They get everything from electronics to gift cards. So yeah, it's a nice event. DJ Nasty. I call him DJ Neste. So it does it. So it's a little more palatable. Yeah, it's a little more palatable. But other than that, thank you for being just a good steward to our children, and he's been doing it for a long time too. All right, that's it. That's it, Commissioner James. Happy Labor Day from Commissioner James. Commissioner Salvino.
Happy Labor Day. I talked enough. I'm glad to be back, and I'm just glad to be back, and I like to keep things going. Thank you.
All right, Vice Mayor Llewellyn.
Very brief. I feel like I haven't seen anybody in a very long time, although I know I've seen a few people here and there. Anyway, thanks for everybody working so hard all summer, and happy Labor Day, and I'm done. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Vice Mayor. Thank you, everybody, for coming out today. Not a bad meeting. It was great to see the commission back in business again. Lovely working with you guys, and look forward to working with you and the staff in the near future. And thank you to our first responders. Thank you, everybody. And yeah, the Age Around Rotary Party was a nice party. Celebrated 100 years, just so you guys know. Had a little rain, but it was still a good time. Just thanking the community for us making it that long. All right, meeting adjourned.